Ninja, what's going on, man? Still setting up a few things here. Am I really the first here? Looks like it. Unless somebody was sitting in the stream and I was so late that they gave up and they left. And then I went live after they left. It's possible. After I sit up, I grab some of that food I made. Yo, it's so good. I am so happy how it came out. My God, it's so good.
Yeah!
Alright, give me a quick second on mic and be right back.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Sorry guys, give me one more second. I'm warm up. Everything is like set up with the stream now, but I'm warming up the food. And when we get back, we're gonna start watching something. What's going on, Fitch?
What we do here is go back.
Alright. I'm too lazy to bring in that little table, so let's eat off of this box. Make sure everything is good. Alright, cool. What's going on, guys? Like I said, I was running super late today, so we got started mad late, but also be a pretty chill stream. Just gonna watch a little bit of FNAF stuff.
Here's an honest
You guys
way
want
to
to hang
make
out for a
yourself
little bit, watch some FNAF stuff, talk some FNAF stuff. That's cool.
$4,880
If not,
per household and help benefit COVID research.
I'll see you in the
The
next one.
trial is filling up fast. Don't miss this opportunity while openings are still available. You can sign up right now. Just click the link in the description and answer a few easy
I want to see if he go.
questions.
All right, let's watch this Bonnie one. Skip trial.
Hey guys, Super
I didn't even
Mike
click that.
here, and we are back
I want to see
for
if he
another
goes
Five
into the
Nights at
fact that
Freddy's
like
retrospective.
he can teleport and stuff.
Previously, we looked at Chica and Foxy. In this video, we take a look at the history behind another classic animatronic, Bonnie. So sit back, relax, and let's take a nostalgic walk
back
down
and
memory
relaxing. Let's do
lane
it.
as we explain everything we know about Bonnie and his various iterations over the years. Bonnie is one of the 4 main animatronic mascots to appear in the original Five Nights at Freddy's back in 2014. As mentioned, his design is based upon the look of a rabbit or hare. This is fairly evident when we look at his bunny ears and facial features, especially the nose and mouth. His body is purple with blue hues and grey highlights from top to bottom. Inside this outer shell hangs an endoskeleton. Bonnie wears a red bow tie and carries his signature instrument, the electric guitar,
A little ad that was at
which
the
he plays
bottom.
in the Fazbear Band alongside Freddy and Chica. Because the name Bonnie is feminine, some players do incorrectly assume Bonnie is a female character. However, he is very much male. This trivia was confirmed around launch, and since has been made further apparent with the character's voice reveal. We can hear Bonnie sing in this clip from the unused Showtime song from FNAF Help Wanted.
Bonnie's my name, I'm hopping along the floppy ears and
I never noticed that Bonnie was like I always thought Bonnie was a guy, but I never noticed that the name Bonnie is actually like a feminine name. Hold on. Bonnie is a Scottish name given for either boys or girls. Well, in Scotland, it's what's it called? Unisex. Number one famous person named Bonnie. This lady. All right, we're going a little off the path here.
cottontail. My guitar is blazing, this rabbit's hair raising. Just
My
a little
guitar's
something
blazing.
we will. Take it, Bonnie.
The voice of Bonnie in this musical number belongs to Joe Gaudette, an actor who also played several roles in the FNAF minigame mashup Ultimate Custom Night. Despite being given a voice for the Showtime theme song, Bonnie does not speak in any of the mainline games, even the most recently released AR game, Special Delivery. What Bonnie does do, however, is make some very disturbing groaning sounds. Take a listen. Now, nobody knows exactly what this sound is and why it would emanate from Bonnie's endo. The most popular theory used to explain these creepy noises can be found when looking at the tragic story behind all of these animatronics. 5 children went missing, and as we play through the games, we discover their disappearance was linked to the deranged creator of the technology behind the Fazbear.
I just want to pat myself on the back for like the millionth time, and I'm gonna do it over and over. But this food is so good. I did so good. Oh man, this is so good. I've never used yogurt as a base for a sauce. Holy this is so good. All right, we'll go back. Damn, this food is so good.
Animatronics, William Afton. often kidnapped and killed children whose souls then became trapped within these various animatronics, including Bonnie. So this wheezing is thought to be the sound of a dormant
disturbing.
soul belonging
You're right.
to the child within, struggling
I hear
in
food.
pain and agony.
I'm here now. I want food. I made some bomb
While
food
playing
yesterday.
The original FNAF,
Damn it,
Bonnie
Raid Shadow
attacks the
Legends.
player in a very specific way. He moves from the main stage of a pizzeria
I made some really good
to the
food
left
yesterday.
side of a restaurant, where he appears first
And I made
in the
enough for a
dining
couple
room,
days.
then backstage, and later either the West Hall, supply closet, or behind the office door. Eventually, he will show up
We can do
in the
real
left
cooking
doorway,
streams.
where if we are not quick enough to react, he sneaks inside the office. Bonnie does not immediately jump scare the player like the other animatronics, however. He waits until we raise up the surveillance monitor and then attacks after we lower it. While Bonnie is the most active of the animatronics, he is also the easiest to avoid. He certainly moves around the pizzeria quickly, but
Bomb
doesn't
food like
linger
Taco
outside
Bell's
the
aftermath
door for
bomb
very
or the
long,
bomb?
making power conservation fairly
Like
simple
really
all
good.
around.
Like
But what
amazing.
was the influence behind Bonnie when FNAF mastermind Scott Cawthon sat
And I
down
made
to
it spicy
create him?
too.
Well, much like
I
the
made it
other
extra spicy.
early animatronics found at Fazbear's, seems to have originated from various mascots belonging to fast food chain Chuck E. Cheese. In the case of Bonnie, the two most likely candidates would be Mr. Munch due to his purple colour and chunky build, and Jasper T. Jowls as he was a guitarist in the band.
By
Bonnie
combination.
also has some of the coolest and creepiest secrets and Easter eggs out of any animatronic from the entire FNAF series. Perhaps the reason for this is because out of all Scott Cawthon's creations, Bonnie is the one who terrifies him the most. In fact, during development of the third
Gave him
FNAF
nightmares.
game,
Gave him
Scott
nightmares.
actually suffered nightmares from the Purple Rabbit, saying the following: "I actually think Bonnie is the scary one. I had numerous nightmares about Bonnie while I was developing the game. The other three never scared me that much." So what were some of these creepy Bonnie-themed anomalies? Well, firstly, when switching to the stage...
And this food is actually fairly healthy. This is actually pretty good. It's so good. Like, just 5 stars across the board. It's like, it's got good protein, decent carbs, got a lot of fiber, super low in fat. Damn, this is so good, man.
Stage camera at the beginning of the night, on rare occasions, Bonnie and his companions will
Cook for
stare
me?
ominously back.
Yo, we're gonna
as
do
if they
cooking
can sense
streams.
us watching
Now
them.
that I'm like actually
Bonnie's face
cooking,
also appears for
we're
a
gonna do
brief
cooking
moment,
streams.
staring directly
It's gonna
into the
be it's
camera
gonna be
in
good.
super close up if the player isn't
And I'm gonna
looking
learn how
at
to
the
cook like
trigger
more and
when
more stuff.
changing cameras. This can be startling to say the least.
We can do streams where I'm
However,
like
the most horrifying
trying a recipe for like the first time, you know.
scare of all comes from an instance where, after triggering a game over screen or when booting into the app, an eyeless Bonnie appears full
I'll just
screen.
like attempt my best
There is
attempt
only a 0.1% chance
make my
of
best attempt at
encountering
cooking
this screen,
it.
which is why it never fails to take people by surprise. Eventually, the eye sockets light up white and the game will return to the title screen a second later. This particular scare likely originated from a real-life incident which caught Scott off guard during early development. I scared myself a few times, yes. When I was making the AI, I just had a still image of the bunny in your face for when he got into the office, nothing animated. I wasn't expecting to see it the first time, and when I lowered my camera, it gave me a good jump scare. That's when I knew I was onto something. It's also interesting to note that in the original trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's, it is Bonnie who runs down the left hallway in place of Foxy, meaning Bonnie's gameplay mechanics are likely changed at some point during development.
before he learned how to
So
teleport.
we've now taken a detailed look at vanilla Bonnie, but what about some of the alternate forms he has taken over the years? Let's take a look at some of Bonnie's other incarnations.
Now streaming on Disney Plus.
I have something blocking this corner of the TV, so let's see if I click it. Nice.
The first
I have
of
my
his
laptop
FNAF
connected
2
to my TV right
designs,
now,
Withered Bonnie is also one of the most unsettling. After scaring
I mean, if
younger
I learned to teleport, I wouldn't walk
audiences,
either.
Bonnie
Hey.
was retired from use at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and fell into disrepair, hence his withered name. He has holes along his body revealing the endoskeleton beneath. One of his arms is missing completely, and his entire faceplate has been removed, exposing his lower jaw and a mess of twisted wires. The glow of his eye sockets can also be seen here. Meeting Withered Bonnie in-game is quite an unpleasant experience. In Ultimate Custom Night, Withered Bonnie speaks to the player in a distorted electro voice.
Time to face the consequences of your failure.
Looking far happier and more family-friendly, Toy Bonnie was designed to appeal to young children and was created after the original Bonnie design was found to be too scary for younger audiences. He is bright blue with blushing cheeks and deceptively friendly.
His jump scare, I don't know, it probably wouldn't have been that great or scary if they hadn't made it so like he like slides in from the side and it does that that music, that like kind of like high pitched sound. All those things together made Toy Bonnie very creepy. So I don't know. I think that's like, it shows how much like they'll put a bit more work into these than
His
just being
wide
basic
eyes
jump
feature
scares.
long lashes, which
More work than people
enhances
realize.
his seemingly innocent design. Toy Bonnie also has a far smoother texture than his other versions, his skin looking shiny and slick. He first appeared in FNAF 2 and would later resurface in Help Wanted's VR remix of
that's
these
so creepy.
stages, as well as Ultimate Custom Night and Special Delivery. In fact, it was in Special Delivery that Toy Bonnie first spoke.
This is my chance to shine and your chance to fade away. What do we have here? Someone hiding from me?
With a personality based on singer Frank Sinatra, and a look that sort of resembles a cross between classic and Toy Bonnie, this Rockstar version is quite
Rockstar
a shake-up
Bonnie
for the character. Rockstar
scared the
Bonnie
hell
is
out of me
not a threat
in
FNAF
UCN.
6 Pizzeria Simulator. Rather, he is purchased as part of the sim aspect of the game and can be used as an entertainer in our restaurant. However, he does show up as an enemy in Custom Night, where he appears in the security office and can only be dispelled if we open our monitor.
Never
and
mind.
locate
I was
his
confusing
guitar
him with
in
the other Bonnie.
time. Fail to do this and a jump scare is received, upon which Rockstar Bonnie will sing to the player in a dulcet tone.
The one where you look at the cam and it would be either Bonnie or Foxy. And if it's Foxy, then you want to look at the cam. If it's Bonnie, then you're not supposed to look at the cam. And it'll tell you by like the toy being on your desk. That version of Bonnie scared the hell out of me because I never paid attention to the toy that was on the desk. So I would just randomly switch over there and Bonnie would be there screaming at me. What are you doing over there?
Spring Bonnie is of great importance to the story of FNAF, but despite this, he never actually appears during gameplay, instead making his appearance during the 8-bit minigames and backstory sequences. The Spring Bonnie suit was used by William Afton to lure his child victims to their demise. However, this suit eventually became William's tomb, as one night while fleeing the ghosts of his victims, Afton hid inside Spring Bonnie, and to his misfortune, the spring lock mechanism snapped shut.
Why did he
slicing
hide
him
inside the
open
suit?
and causing him to fuse with the insides.
Make no damn sense.
This led to the creation of Springtrap, who of course featured in FNAF 3 and was haunted by Afton's spirit. Bonbon is an animatronic hand puppet belonging to Funtime Freddy, who first appeared in Sister Location and is clearly based upon the Bonnie design. A female version of this character known as Bonnet appeared in Ultimate Custom Night and marks Bonnie's first and only female variant in the series to date.
I swore she was in some game. What was it? Help Wanted? Maybe Help Wanted had come out before. I swore this person was in Help Wanted. In the what was it? In the FNAF 4 room. Maybe it's Bonbon I'm thinking of.
Finally, we have Bonnie's nightmare rendition from FNAF 4, and the Halloween-themed variant of this design that also featured there, as well as in the Curse of Dreadbear DLC for FNAF Help Wanted. Much of the design is the same across both of these
And in
Bonnies.
sister location?
Their
Wait,
bodies
they were?
torn and withered, their endo in plain sight. The hands feature clawed
What does it take to be
fingers,
called?
and the mouths are full of several rows
Otaku?
of razor-sharp teeth. Where the Jacko version differs, however, is quite apparent. A raging flame-like light emanates
The
from
desire.
within. This gives the
The
nightmare
will.
design a far more hellish
The
and demonic
perseverance.
appearance, which strikes fear into our every encounter with it. Of course, there are other forms Bonnie has taken over the years in various books and spin-off games such as Freddy in Space. But I hope for now this has been an informative and entertaining look at this particular animatronic. If you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more horror related content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.
Custom night along with, you know, in Lolbit. Yeah, I had no idea what to do with Lolbit. Honestly, I only got Lolbit maybe like 2 or 3 times. And I never understood what I was supposed to do. I think I looked it up and it was like you have to type in LOL or something. Yeah, I had no idea. Can I get a video? What you mean? Type LOL? Yeah. Yeah, I found out too late. Hey, get off the curtain. These kittens are getting crazy. Ooh. I don't know. Is there any like concrete get out of there. Get out of there. Is there any like concrete information about Ballora being anybody important? I feel like everyone says that it's the wife. Hey, get. These kids are wild now, man. They're at that stage where they all have like crazy amounts of energy. And they're not on the same sleep schedule. Like, so they're just all different times of the day, just going nuts. Can I get a vid for you to watch? If it's FNAF related, doesn't have any copywritten stuff in it, sure. Let's watch Ballora. Let's see if there's like any information about Ballora that's even vaguely interesting. I feel like Ballora is only interesting because people come up with theories, but as far as information that they've given us, she's nothing. She doesn't seem to be anything. The only person who like goes out of their way to make her like important seems to be Matt Pat. Man, he is good at grasping at straws. So good. I don't know why, but everyone says she's part of the Afton family. Yeah, that's the thing. Everyone says she's the wife, but like, is there any concrete information about her that's interesting, or is it just all theories?
By taking a look at 2 more animatronics from the franchise. If you have missed prior episodes in this series, be sure to check them out as we have covered most of the roster up to this point. However, a handful still remain, and in this video we double up with a detailed look at both Ballora and Balloon Boy, as well as their variants over the years. So sit back, relax, and let's take another journey into the depths of Fazbear Entertainment in an all-new episode of FNAF Animatronics Explained. First up, Ballora. Surely one of the most humanoid animatronic designs, Ballora resembles a graceful ballerina, hence her name. She was designed and constructed by series villain William Afton at his company Afton Robotics and performed on stage
I only want to hear facts
Baby's
about her.
Pizza World during the short time it was open. We can see a glimpse of what this dance performance may have looked like in the trailer for Sister Location. As you can see, Ballora is fairly tall, with the kind of elegant hourglass build we often see from a professional dancer. Her body is constructed from shiny blue, white and purple plates. These plates mimic garments of clothing. On her feet, a pair of ballet pumps, with netted stockings running up her legs and a blue leotard around her midriff. She holds her arms above her head in a pyramid point as she gently spins around the dance floor. Ballora's hair is blue and tied back with a metal cord. Her face wears a constant smile. Within this smile, a mouth of razor-sharp teeth are found. This is strange when we consider Ballora is modelled after a human form rather than an animal one. But seeing as she was born from the insane mind of serial killer William Afton, perhaps it's not too much of a mystery after all. Ballora's eyes are always closed. Because of this, she uses sounds to detect her victims. At this point, her faceplate split open, revealing her terrifying endo beneath. According to Scott Cawthon, she was one of the most difficult animatronics to design alongside Circus Baby, and took a great deal of time to perfect. Scott also spoke of how Ballora moves about when not dancing along her rail. This is what he had to say. I would imagine that she actually glides on a track most of the time, but after leaving the track she uses all 4 limbs to crawl about, more like a spider. I don't think she walks anywhere, so
That's
she's
so
basically
creepy.
either dancing gracefully or climbing the walls like Mangle. So there you have it. Ballora moves about on all 4s like a spider. Sleep well, dear audience member.
That's so creepy. When you consider she was in that room trying to get you. When she was just crawling around.
Actress Michelle Moss lends her vocal talents to Ballora, but not only that, she actually wrote the melody for the distant singing we hear while exploring Circus
Why is
Baby's
Ballora blind?
entertainment and rental.
I wonder if that's gonna be like a plot point, or if that was just for like the sake of the game, like a game mechanic. We can watch that first one. That second one, I think we've already seen. We saw all of Scrimpus's all of his videos.
To get
What's
an
up,
idea
wholesome
of how
time?
Ballora sounds, check out a few voice clips from her character.
Is someone there? Is it time for the show? I can hear someone creeping through my room. Perhaps not.
Ballora also has a piece of music that accompanies her. This music is titled Crumbling Dreams and is a music box melody. It plays out as she dances around her gallery and is inspired by composer Dmitri
Wait,
Shostakovich.
wait. So now I'm confused. When she's pirouetting, she's on a track. We were walking like free walking in that room, right? So there can only be 2 things. And obviously it's only one of them. But either she was doing this, and there's tracks in that room, and we could just easily have just avoided the tracks and not had to worry about her at all, or there were no tracks in that room, and she was crawling around. But as we can see, she was spinning in that jump. So why not just avoid the tracks? Like,
Shostakovich, specifically his composition of Waltz No. 2 in C minor. Take a listen to this short clip.
imagine turning a corner and seeing Ballora crawl at you. Guess I'll simply die. Oh, I thought she had like Heelys
Now we've
on,
taken
like
a
her
peek
toes,
at
and
Ballora's
just
look and
spinning.
behavior in the game. Let's investigate
That would make
her
more
story
sense
within Sister Location.
than what we
Like
just
her
saw.
fellow Funtime animatronics, Ballora ended up in storage within
Man, I would love to go to like some sort of like, they should have had FNAF conventions, like they do for like Blizzard, like BlizzCon, and like they had like the World of Warcraft section, and then like all the like the super hardcore like World of Warcraft geeks get up and they grill these guys on their stories and the plots that they created. Like I remember there was one infamous kid. It went down as like the red shirt kid, and it's crazy because there ended up being 2 red shirt guys throughout history in these little game con things. But the first kid, he went up there and he like pretty much told them some like huge inconsistency in a story that they made, and they didn't have an answer for him. He was like, yeah, you said in this story he died, but oh no, you said in this story he became the king, but in the game the character said that he died in the war, but in the book he won the war and he went on to become king. Where is he? And they're like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. And like they literally had to go and like change the game. Like they had to go and like remove a character and put in a character and like make this guy the new king and like all of this stuff. Basically, what I'm saying here is, I would love to be like a little FNAF geek and go up there and like, Scott, in sister location, you implying that Ballora has to crawl around on crawl around in a crab walk situation when there is no tracks. But as the player, we were in a room with no tracks, and she was spinning. Do you have anything to say? You know, like, and just grill him. You know.
Circus Baby's
I don't know why people grilling him on his political stuff. They should have grilled him on the plot stuff.
Owned and operated by William Afton. It was here that Afton's son Michael took on the night shift and experienced
I have a heart
his
attack
very
on the
own
spot.
private hell.
Like, skip the
Ballora
jump
was
scare.
one of the
Don't
first
kick me when I'm
animatronics he
down.
encountered, forced to sneak through her gallery as she span around him, whispering in the darkness. Later on, Circus Baby traps Michael inside a Springtrap suit, where he witnesses Ballora getting scooped by the scooping machine, a process where her innards are removed, leaving only her outer shell.
I don't know, man. I just make games.
After witnessing this traumatic sight, Ballora's minions begin to attack. These minions are known as mini-arenas,
so
and were
much.
originally designed to perform as tiny dancers alongside Ballora as part of her stage show.
Ball-headed ass.
At a glance, the mini-arenas seem to resemble the puppet mixed with a more toned-down version of Ballora's own design. They wear white
Punk-ass,
masks, and
stick
beneath
figure
the mask
looking.
is a black ball with no facial features whatsoever. This lends them an incredibly eerie look. As they crawl about, they giggle in a high-pitched tone.
See, why were you afraid of these things? Like, I can't help but constantly put myself in a 1v1 situation, right? And like, I don't know, with the animatronics, at a certain point, like, I'm like, all right, if they really built these things like tanks, then you probably couldn't win a one-on-one fight with like a Freddy or something, right? You probably, like, I don't know what winning a fight would say, because you can't like knock them out or something, but you could like overpower them and like pin them down and get away or something, right? But like, if they could build these things Ford tough if they want to. So who knows what the Freddys and the Foxies and stuff like that. They made these things out of pure steel and put like heavy machinery inside of them and like huge hydraulic presses and pumps. They'd probably beat the hell out of you. But these little things, they're little dolls. I would 4v1, I would wreck these things. Why was this an issue? Why was this a problem? Like that, I feel like they really need to go, like, they need to make some sort of like breakdown into like each one of their like power levels or something. Cause like these things gotta be some sort of level of powerful for them to still clap you. Even with 4 of them. Are you kidding me? What? That doesn't make any sense. I would easily win this. That's crazy to me.
Creepiest of all is when we consider how their eyes glow a faint yellow colour. Why? Well,
Do the
because
mini
as
arenas make
previously
noise
mentioned,
when
their
near
faces
Ballora?
do not contain
Oh, I have no idea.
eyes, suggesting something paranormal instead. The mini arena is also
Yeah, to
tied
keep at
to
it
a
for what,
fun
3
Easter
minutes?
egg that
Yeah,
concealed
it was
in sister
super long.
location during the TV show segment.
It was
after finishing
super
a
long.
shift. While eating popcorn, the head of one of these creepy critters will sometimes appear in our bowl.
that silent boy's actual name is Boris, for anyone who wants to know. You just call him Boris. How's it going, Boris?
After surviving the onslaught of mini-arenas during Night 4, Michael Afton returns to his father's factory for another night shift. While Ballora was indeed gutted by the scooping machine, she does still appear in Night 5, now taking on the terrifying form of Ennard alongside the other scooped animatronics at the facility. Her consciousness and many of her body parts living on within this twisted jumble. Ennard eventually escapes the facility by crawling inside the body of Michael Afton after he is lured into the scooping room by...
Yo, you guys be creeping me out when I play these games, because, like, you know, this is like, you seeing this probably should have been a natural thing. You'd be like, oh my goodness. And you're like, oh. But then you guys like in chat will be like, hey, look at the window. And I'm like, huh? Ah! Like, and I don't know why. It's so much more jarring to not just like gradually be like, oh, you know, like it's just like, it's like getting a text message and someone's like, who's outside your window? And you look at your window and somebody's there. Like, it's terrifying. I remember this being much scarier than it needed to be.
At the facility. Her consciousness and many of her body parts living on within this twisted jumble. Ennard eventually escapes the facility by crawling inside the body of Michael Afton after he is lured into the scooping room by Circus Baby.
Dan was thinking you wouldn't join. I didn't really feel like it. Oh, cool. So thank you for everyone, please thank Boris for blessing us with their presence.
And AR game FNAF
Wait, can I send you a vid? As long as it's FNAF and it doesn't have copyright stuff.
With Ballora covered, let's move on to the second half of this video with a look at Balloon Boy and his versions over the years.
Bro, stop getting on the curtains. Get off of that.
Balloon Boy first appeared in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. While perhaps
I swear they think the curtain is like just another thing that they can climb up. What? Did I just break this?
Coulfin's modeling studio. He wears a big bright smile with large human-like teeth. This makes sense as he is very clearly modelled after a young child. His eyes are big and blue, his cheeks rose red, and he wears a stripy helicopter hat on his head. This garish stripy design continues.
I don't know why I'm using this anyway. I have perfectly brand new earbuds.
And in the other, a sign with the word balloons written across it.
Get off the curtain!
Looks, it seems this friendly childlike robot was used to distribute balloons
to children. No, I don't want to replace the earbuds right now. Even though I do have fresh ones, if I unplug these earbuds, I have to make new browser sources for all the fucking sound alerts and TTS. So I'll just wait.
Children
this works for now.
When we listen to audio from BB, we can tell he has a friendly yet shy persona.
Hi. Hello.
I was actually gonna send a video about the hey there, something there, and they're actually there.
This lines up
the
with
hell?
Our experience of Balloon Boy in the games, specifically FNAF 2, where rather than try to kill us like the other animatronics, he instead will disable our flashlight and air vent lighting, all while giggling at our misfortune. For that reason, it is important to pay attention to BB whenever he says hello to us, as giving him this attention is the only way to avoid his meddlesome tampering. Just remember to wear that Freddy mask. After appearing in FNAF 2,
I get so confused when people play the FNAF games any bit differently than I played. I personally never used any camera besides the music box. I personally didn't see a reason to use any. I always do that when I get into some FNAF game. I figure out what I don't need to do and what I should just focus on. Like I feel like there's always like a handful of shit that you probably. Calder said this on the last time we were playing like a FNAF game that required like camera work. He was like, yeah, there's usually only like maybe 1 or 2 cameras you ever have to worry about in these FNAF games, and that is 100% true. I didn't see any reason to go to anything besides the music box in this particular one. So when I see people do stuff like this feels like a different game. Like I'm like, what game was this? Like what was this, a fan game or something like that? But it's just them using shit that I would have never used.
His meddlesome tampering. Just remember to wear that Freddy mask. After appearing in FNAF 2 and the aforementioned Help Wanted, Balloon Boy also showed up in the game's DLC, The Curse of Dreadbear, during the Trick or Treat minigame. His final appearance.
Oh no, wait. Is your name Wholesome Time BB because Balloon Boy?
The mobile game Special Delivery, and it was with this
game
that BB was finally given the ability to jump scare players.
Just say that was a coincidence.
But what about his other forms? Unlike Ballora, Balloon Boy does have several
say it's a
alternate
coincidence.
designs, so let's take a look at them. Phantom
They're just gonna be
Balloon
like,
Boy
"Hi."
showed up in FNAF 3 as one of the many ghostly hallucinations haunting the player during their night shift at Fazbear's Frights. His character model is basically a burnt-up version of the one we
What?
saw
No.
in Five Nights 2, though
Alright.
this time he is
Alright.
given a
Okay.
pretty creepy jump scare. During gameplay, Phantom BB will randomly block the player's vision when switching cameras, and if we are not quick enough, proceed to attack. He is far more sinister than his original version, with glowing white eye sockets. JJ, also known as Balloon Girl in the FNAF trivia book The Freddy Files, is, as her name suggests, the female counterpart to Balloon Boy. She doesn't play an active role in FNAF 2, instead acting as an Easter egg of sorts. She will sometimes appear underneath the player's desk.
I've never
staring
seen
up
that.
at them.
I don't think I've ever seen
While
that.
this is pretty creepy, JJ is not a direct threat in any way. However, this did change with her appearance in Ultimate Custom Night, where, if selected, she played a
They were
far more
all
prominent
annoying.
role.
JJ,
Now
BB,
able to
DD,
sneak inside the
Fifi,
security
CC,
office and
GG,
disable
ZZ.
the door
All of them
controls.
sucked. I hated them all in that game.
Listen up, dirtbag. This here's a goat. And this here's a miniature gun model. What does that give us?
First appearing in spin-off game FNAF World
Curtain
during
opened
a fishing
a little bit,
minigame,
letting
Dee Dee eventually
letting light
broke
into the
the
dungeon.
series with her inclusion in Ultimate Custom Night. Here she would pop up at random points during gameplay and sing the player a song in a high-pitched voice.
Uh-oh, how unfortunate. Uh-oh, how unfortunate. I know how much you
I hated
like
hearing
to
this.
fight, so I'll add a new problem to your night.
After this song ends, Dee Dee adds another animatronic to the mix, or ups the difficulty level of a current one. She is even able to add animatronics who are not selectable from the main menu. These are Shadow Bonnie, Lolbit,
Okay, so I've done Shadow Bonnie, Lulbit, Nightmare, Chica, Bonnet. I don't remember. I think I might have did the mini Rias. They just block your screen or something, right? Or something like that, right? I could be wrong. I don't really remember. And Plush Trap. I vaguely remember maybe getting Plush Trap.
Nightmare Chica, Bonnet, Mini Rena, and Plush Trap. So
No,
just like
no,
the-
wait a minute. That's not all of them. That's not all of them. The God, what is he called? Zor, the fucking Superman DD? That's that they didn't put that one in. Yes it is. No, they didn't. This one, hold on. This is like the easiest way for me to get to this. Oh wait, I can just go to this. What is this? Okay, maybe I didn't post it here. I swore I did. Did I really not? Get off the get off the curtain, man. Get off the curtain. I don't think I posted it here. But you know what I'm talking about though, right? No, they didn't. Oh, okay, yes, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I is this no, that's not it. I knew there was something missing there. The fuck is that clip? Girl crying in cemetery, me sorry for your loss. Why are you crying? No one came to my funeral. Me, Android notification, sound, and confusion.
Right,
Video
I'm fine.
producer.
I'm good. I'm great.
Son of a bitch. There it is. You know what? They probably didn't add this because they're probably literally about to talk about this. I'm literally spending all of this time because it's Shadow Didi, so it's most likely gonna pop up under different variations of Didi. That's funny.
Oh, what is that? What is that shit? I've never seen that shit! What the fuck is that?
Okay.
What was that? What was the little thing? What was the little black and white doll? I've never seen that.
Hey, there's Misaka. There's Damien.
Chica,
Yeah, they're probably going to talk
Bonnet,
about it in
Mini
a second.
Arena, and Plush Trap. So just like BB, she has a mischievous temperament. During Custom Night's 50-20 mode, Didi takes on a nightmarish, eyeless, and greatly desaturated form known as XOR, which makes her far less cute and far more creepy.
That was terrifying.
What does this name XOR mean? Well, it would seem
It
nothing
means
in
they were a
particular,
high-ranking
as Scott
officer on
comments in an
Krypton.
interview with fellow YouTuber Dorko. I named Shadow DD XOR, and I'm not sure why, but like most of the characters in this
Zor.
franchise, whenever I'm making them, the name immediately comes to mind. It doesn't mean anything.
Your panic
but that's
fuels
the
it.
name of Shadow DD.
Come back from dead. They never kill me, always come back. Shoots
Finally,
Ninja
we have one
again.
of the most
No, you don't,
terrifying-looking
bitch. Still
robots
here,
in the entire
Stormtrooper.
franchise, Nightmare Balloon Boy. He certainly lives up to his name. He now has fingers on each hand, and
Guys,
his
I made
fingers
such
are
good
long and
food.
skeletal.
It
His
was
head
so
is
good.
enormous, with a mouth that extends all of the way around.
It was
full of
so
several
delicious.
rows of dagger-like teeth. If this wasn't creepy enough, Nightmare BB's eyes glow bright red like the devil himself. Nightmare first appeared in Five Nights at Freddy's 4 and later Help Wanted during a minigame called Fun with Balloon Boy. This game required the player to turn off their flashlight,
That bacon
allowing Nightmare
cheeseburger.
BB to sneak up on them in the darkness, and then turning it back on to freeze him in place when standing on the
Cajun, spicy
Unlike
Cajun
Balloon
pasta.
Boy, this nightmarish
So good.
alternate version can
Chicken,
and will attack
pasta,
if we fail.
asparagus.
Well, Nightmare Balloon Boy
And it was so
originally
healthy.
slowed down
That's the
audio
craziest
samples
part
from
is how
Baby
fucking
Brother
healthy it
when
is.
stalking us in FNAF 4, his appearance in Ultimate's Custom Night finally gave him a very malicious sounding voice. Take a listen.
Come closer. Help me count my teeth. There just isn't room in here for both of us.
And on that spooky note, we come to the end of another episode of Five Nights at Freddy's Animatronics Explained. I hope you enjoyed this series so far, and remember to
Animatronic.
check out previous episodes if you have missed them. If you enjoyed this video, then remember to leave a like, comment down below, and of
Oh, that was Ballora and Balloon Boy. You know, I was just wondering, when did we click Balloon Boy? That's funny. Oh, that's hilarious. When I first clicked this, I was like, how did I get 15 minutes of Ballora? So that's why I kept saying, like, I want to see, like, just pure facts about Ballora, right? I figured 15 minutes about Ballora is going to have some interesting stuff. I didn't even notice that they hit us with a double video. That's funny. And the only reason I remembered is because I was trying to remember what the video was that we watched after Ballora, because I remember Ninja put up a video. Let me move this thing so I can see. All right. You like jazz? Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Let's watch Foxy. Let's see if there's any information about Foxy that we don't have. Foxy is so unbelievably popular, but I'm realizing that we don't have like that much information about like
Hey guys,
I don't know, the
Mike
kid
here,
or
and in
Foxy,
today's
or maybe we
video,
do and I just don't have
continue
it.
Our retrospective of Five Nights at Freddy's and its characters.
Great
with a
video, I
look
love his
at the
death.
Pirate King himself, Foxy. This video will be both a look at the origins of Foxy, some interesting facts about him, and how he has evolved into different forms over the years across the many FNAF sequels and prequels. So sit back, relax, and let's take another nostalgic walk.
Foxy do be the best though. Yeah, like even I mean I guess it makes sense because I'm Shadow Fox, but obviously like I would oh no, the Stockholm syndrome is finally making its way in. I always tell people, of course I don't have a favorite animatronic. Like that Stockholm syndrome, like why would I like any of these bastards? They're trying to kill me. But I just caught myself saying that if I had to pick one, it would be Foxy.
To appear in the original smash hit Five Nights at Freddy's. Although, unlike Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy,
Why is
Foxy
his-
never appeared in the pre-release promotional
Why is his
material, such as this trailer
his body
here.
so jacked
In
up
fact,
compared to
Foxy's
theirs?
famous Hall Run animation was actually performed by Bonnie in the original trailer, and this was because creator Scott Cawthon wanted to keep one of his main cast a secret until the game launched. So many players had quite the shock when first encountering Foxy back in 2014 when FNAF released.
I like
He
Goldie.
inhabits a special
Sorry,
area of the
Caplock, you're
pizzeria
good.
known as Pirate's
Play
Cove,
Fania,
making
please?
the
No.
unique and popular centerpiece
No.
for visitors. Upon
Niet.
hearing the name Foxy, one might assume the character is female, as the name Foxy is very feminine and certainly
Okay.
not one we would associate
Alright, this
with
is
a
this
hard-bitten
alright.
pirate.
This is not what this community
Foxy
needs
is
more
indeed
of.
male.
Come aboard Captain Foxy's pirate adventure!
His appearance is disheveled and haggard, with rips and tears appearing up and down his crimson red legs and body, revealing the endoskeleton beneath. He is distinctly canine and fox-like as his name suggests, with yellow eyes, red eyebrows, and a pair of pointy ears atop his head. An eye patch covers his right eye, and a hook can be seen bolted onto his right hand, completing the pirate aesthetic. Foxy's mouth hangs wide open, revealing two sets of razor-sharp teeth. Some of these teeth are golden, again most likely to represent his buccaneering origins. It seems Foxy had been decommissioned, as there is an out-of-order sign on the curtain around Pirate's Cove. This would explain Foxy's rundown and broken appearance. He needed major repairs and was unfit for showtime alongside the other three animatronics at the time of the pizzeria's closure, which again explains why he was never repaired. Most interesting is the mystery surrounding Foxy and his connection to a major yet unsolved event in the FNAF timeline, the Bite of 87. This was a gruesome accident where one of the animatronics sunk its teeth into a customer's head,
What no
removing
accident.
their frontal lobe. It
This
is
was
referenced
murder.
by Phone Guy during Night 1 of the original game.
They used to be allowed to walk around during the
Hey, what's
day,
going on, Calder?
but then there was the bite of 87.
I mean, where have you been, Calder? Ah, fuck it, I blew it. What's up, Calder?
It's amazing that the human body can live without the frontal lobe.
I was actually
Many
talking about you
theories
like not
have
too
been
long ago.
crafted over the years to explain who was responsible
We're talking about
for
like
this tragic
FNAF
event, but it
cameras
has never been
and how you
officially
don't really
confirmed
need
which
more than like
animatronic
usually like
was
one
in
or
fact
two.
the cause. Foxy seems the most
I think you
likely
brought that up last time
candidate
we were
for the
playing
following
like
reasons.
those nights at
A,
Rachel's.
He has the sharpest and most deadly set of teeth out of the 4 animatronics functioning at the pizzeria during the year 1987. Teeth that line both the top and bottom of his mouth. B. Foxy's jaw is mysteriously broken. This could easily be a result of snapping down on a customer's skull, a hard object which of course would cause damage to the animatronic's jaw mechanism. C. While running, Foxy snaps at thin air. We can see this when using the monitor and observing Foxy running down the hallway. This snapping seems to be a result of sudden movement, and so would be a malfunction in Foxy's design, a reason he was out of order after such sudden movement caused his jaw to snap down on a customer's head by accident. In fact, in FNAF Help Wanted, during his parts and service stage, we discover Foxy requires fuses to control certain parts of his body correctly. It may be that one of these fuses blew at an inopportune time. But again, no one knows for sure. This is simply the evidence we have to support this theory, and personally I think it makes a lot of sense.
Is the theory, I kind of missed the beginning part of who this is supposed to be that got bit. Is the theory that he bit the night guard? Isn't that a theory that's being floated out somewhere, that the first night guard or second night guard or something got bite of 87, and because the first one wasn't, the kid wasn't Foxy, so was Foxy this one?
Playing as the night guard in FNAF 1, Foxy is often regarded as the
did Foxy do this one?
Constant need to monitor his behavior and his brutal attack speed. He initiates his attack by peering from behind the Pirate's Cove curtain and gradually moving towards the edge of the camera until he quickly rushes the security room. However, just because we close the door doesn't mean we are saved. Foxy will drain the power from the office every time he attacks, and this means allowing him to attack one too many times can leave us exposed to other animatronic horrors residing within. Foxy also doesn't like being on camera too much, so the more times we check the camera, the more often he will attack. Foxy is also one of 2 animatronics to ever sing in the FNAF games during attack phases, with the other being Ballora from Sister Location. Foxy hums the following tune from time to time while on patrol. He is voiced by actor Christopher McCullough, who has actually uploaded a karaoke of the song You Are a Pirate from LazyTown in the voice of Foxy. It can be found over on Christopher's YouTube channel, for which there is a link below, but here is a quick preview.
Do what you want cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Yeah, a pirate is alright with me. Do what you want cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
But where did Foxy originate from? Well, much of FNAF's inspiration came from American.
Man, if enjoying your job was a person.
And 1980s. Notably, those found within the restaurant chain.
Damn, voice acting is so
Keeping
cool.
this in mind,
I really want to get
into
into voice acting.
Foxy's main influence was Foxy Colleen. While Colleen was a female wolf and an Irish one to boot, she shares
The more often we check the camera, the more often he will attack.
More notably, was
What?
also retired from production at the Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theatre, and so shares a similar backstory. Another potential influence for the character was Rolf
Speed running your
Wolf
mom.
from Showbiz Pizza Palace.
Hey, how's it going? Ever heard about this game called League of Legends? Well, you're hearing about it now. Check it out. Each game you get put into a team of 5. You and your team are put up against 5 other players.
And they're all super toxic and racist, and they hate themselves, but they love the game, but they also hate the game, but they also hate themselves and the game.
Helped create Foxy's final design.
I think they left out a lot of League of Legends stuff in that commercial.
When it came to modelling Foxy, Scott actually did this while on a family trip. He had this to say in regards to that rather challenging experience. I actually modelled the Foxy character on my laptop while riding on a 24-hour drive to visit my in-laws over the summer of 2014. It's very difficult to model a 3D character on a bumpy car ride. Maybe this is why Foxy looks so torn up.
What?
So now we've looked at Foxy, his lore, his
That's kind of
backstory,
funny.
and even his origins. However, there are many more Foxy designs that appeared over the years. So let's take a quick
Why
look
does your
at them.
Foxy model look so messed up? Sharon was
Withered
speeding, and
Foxy
we just got into an
appears in Five
argument,
Nights at
and I
Freddy's
just
2
couldn't
and
hold the
was a
mouse steady,
rundown and
so I just I
forgotten
don't know.
version of the original Foxy design, deemed too creepy for younger audiences. However, while highly mangled, he is actually in far better shape than his other withered counterparts, retaining most of his original body. In gameplay, he is the only animatronic, aside from the puppet, who cannot be tricked by wearing the Freddy mask. Instead, we must flick our flashlight on and off when Withered Foxy appears at the end of a hall to repel him, the bright light stunning him for a brief time. During a minigame found within RPG spin-off FNAF World, Withered Foxy was given a voice, a suitably creepy one at
That's
that.
creepy.
He
That's
was given a
creepy.
voice, a
The
suitably
eye looks.
creepy one at
That's
that.
creepy.
Listen to my voice, and you will find the key.
Nightmare Foxy was one of several nightmarish renditions of the classic animatronics to appear in FNAF 4. As the name suggests, this version of Foxy is pure nightmare fuel, sporting
Yeah,
rows
this
of
one was
razor-sharp teeth
terrifying.
and missing portions of his body.
Lord at
His
130
endo laid
kilometers
bare
an
before our
hour
eyes.
over a traffic
He
bump.
also appeared in the
I love
Curse
speed
of
running
Dreadbear
into his mom,
expansion
bro.
for FNAF Help
Yes.
Wanted, where he was even creepier in
Stop
VR.
reading some of these.
Rockstar Foxy showed up in FNAF Pizzeria Simulator, but wasn't a danger to the player. Instead, he could be purchased from the in-game shop and placed as an entertainer within the player's restaurant. He lives up to his Rockstar name, singing in the band. And while he retains the pirate's theme of the original Foxy, there are a number of changes to his design. For starters, he no longer has damage to his body, and in addition to the hook on his hand, he also sports a peg leg. A parrot can be found on his left shoulder and a star on his chest. Rockstar's musical instrument of choice is an accordion, which he plays on stage with glee. However, while we were safe from Rockstar Foxy during FNAF 6, in Ultimate Custom Night he was most certainly a menace, summoned by interacting with his parrot as it flew across the screen. First appearing in FNAF's sister location, Funtime Foxy had a far cuter and less threatening appearance than its original design, at least at a first glance. Its body was a mixture of pink and white materials, and if we look closely, we see it does indeed seem to be a non-mangled version of, well, Mangle. Meaning Mangle almost certainly originated from this design, or vice versa. In gameplay, Funtime stalks us through a dark auditorium, where we must flash a beacon to repel them. If we are caught, a terrifying jump scare plays out, where Foxy's face literally splits open during its attack. Funtime
Dig
Foxy
Dick.
would later go on to reappear in Ultimate Custom Night, where he was given a voice.
I'm sorry, but there was never enough room on
I really like the voice for Funtime Foxy. It really makes me think of like a like some rides at like a pier, or like, I don't know, maybe like an older amusement park where like they're like, you know, shouting over the sound system.
The most terrifying version of Foxy is almost certainly Grim Foxy from Help Wanted's Curse of Dreadbear DLC. He seems to look very similar to the Jacko animatronics from previous games. Much of his body has been worn away, revealing the endo beneath. Inside this
Is he a
skeletal
pumpkin?
frame,
Why does he
a
have those?
fiery
Why does he look
glow
like that?
burns away, lighting him up like a jack-o'-lantern. In place of a hook, Grim Foxy's right hand now brandishes a giant sickle. His fingertips and toes are clawed, and large spikes appear to be growing out of his shoulders. All of this adds up to one horrifying animatronic. But with that, we come to the end of the second episode of FNAF Animatronics Explained. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, remember to leave a like,
FNAF
comment down below, and of course
Animatronic.
subscribe for more horror-related content.
What am I gonna
Thanks
eat for
watching,
dinner?
And I will see you on the next one.
I could eat another serving of that delicious food that I made, but I don't want to get sick of it off of that, you know? I don't want to be like, guys, this food was the best food ever made, and then in like a couple days I'm like, I never want to eat this again, you know? I have burgers, but I want to like saute up some like, or just like toss some like some peppers and onions on there. I don't have any jalapenos. They were out. I kind of don't want to just eat it just with the onions. This is good. These are good burgers too, so I don't want to just make them unless they're about to be good. Which one should we do? I guess we could do Freddy. I mean, I just feel like that's just not going to have that much new information. I mean, how important is Freddy himself besides being like the namesake for the channel or for the game?
Well, you vaporized
How important is the kid that's in Freddy? Like Golden Freddy's obviously far more important.
Hey guys, Super Horror Bro Mike here, and in this video we continue our revisit of classic Five Nights at Freddy's characters with a look at the most popular animatronic of them all, Freddy Fazbear. In previous videos we have covered Chica, Foxy and Bonnie, so remember to check those out if they take your interest, as well as letting me know which other animatronics you'd like to see appear in this series in the future. For now though, sit back, relax, and let's walk down memory lane as we take a look at some key facts about Freddy and his various versions over the years. Freddy Fazbear is Fazbear Entertainment's central mascot. He carries the company's name as well as appearing on the branding for their restaurants and merchandise. Everything from Faz coins to cereal boxes. It's no wonder he's a fan favourite and the most iconic of all creator Scott Cawthon's enormous cast of characters.
Is he the fan favorite,
like his
or is he
fellow
a
critters,
fan favorite?
Freddy has a very distinct look. He is, as the name would suggest, modelled after a bear, and so carries many bear-like features, with big pawed hands and feet, a circular muzzle, and of course those button ears. His body is a light shade of brown and he wears a small black top hat and big bow tie. On the right side of his face, if we pay close attention, we notice a human handprint, most likely belonging to a child. When Freddy isn't stalking night guards through the darkness of the diner, he looks by far the friendliest of the original 4 animatronics. This look extends to his original character traits, which were laid back, happy-go-lucky, and fun-loving. We can really get a sense of Freddy Fazbear's personality when listening to him sing within the Showtime band here in this excerpt from the unreleased song originally
I think
set to
Foxy and
appear
Springtrap
within
are
FNAF
more
Part
fan
Wanted.
favorites than Freddy, yeah. Because it just doesn't seem like Freddy's that important. Hey, appreciate the follow. Welcome to the stream.
Despite
Yeah, Freddy
singing
doesn't
the
seem
band
that
here,
important.
Freddy doesn't-
Like, the more you get into FNAF, the less Freddy himself means anything. It just seems to be the name of the restaurants that they're picking. But yeah, I mean, Golden Freddy has the soul of the first of all, it's the only one that has 2 souls in it, right? And then it has the soul of the kid that, you know, that really is holding a grudge. Like the kid, I don't even know the name of the kid that's inside of Freddy. That's how unimportant Freddy is. That's how little that kid has done. I don't even know what their name is, but yeah, besides Freddy just being the name of the restaurant, it's not important.
However, that did change with the launch of mobile AR title Special Delivery, where he was finally given a voice. Take a listen to some of his lines.
Yeah, I know all the lore. If you need a hand, I need more than a hand. I feel like I've seen so many lore videos on FNAF, and there's just so many questions. Gabriel? Yeah, Gabriel never did a damn thing in her life.
It's hard to find concrete information on who exactly voices Freddy here. However, we do know that voice actor Kellen
Gabriel's a
Goff did
loser
voice work for the character in Help Wanted, in addition to voicing Fredbear in Ultimate Custom Night, Molten Freddy in FNAF 6, and Funtime Freddy.
Oh, you can't hear their voice? You can't hear their voice? Oh, you can't hear their voice? Hold on. I got you, fam. Hold on. Boom, let's go. Let's do it. All right. Can you hear it now? 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 What about now? Raid Shadow Legends. Can you hear that? Can you hear that one? Can you Raid Shadow Legends? Huh? Raiding Shadow Legends?
Bonnie,
Huh?
Chica, and Foxy, Freddy does not seem to like standing in plain
I'll talk all I
sight.
damn want.
He almost seems more intelligent, stalking us from the shadows. This makes spotting him much harder during gameplay, as we must search for the dim glow of his eyes peeking out from the darkness. A fun fact here is that Scott did not originally plan for Freddy to have this type of movement. In FNAF
It's all
3,
down
after
to the
completing
Afton
Nightmare
family.
mode, we unlock a newspaper containing interesting game dev comments. One of these paragraphs states, "In the original game, Freddy was never originally meant to move around the diner.
I'll shoot
and
you,
was
don't
only
shoot
meant
me."
to get you if your time ran out. That was changed before release." While Freddy roams the pizzeria, he intermittently plays out a chilling piece of music. This creepy tune is actually based on a famous piece of classical music from the opera Carmen, a composition which translates to English as the Toreador song, written by George Bizet. Perhaps Scott is a fan of the opera, or at least this particular one, and so wanted to insert a little bit of culture into the Five Nights
Chilling.
franchise. Interestingly, there have only ever been 3 animatronics who use music to precede a jump scare. Freddy is obviously one of them, the other 2
Can you
being
hear
Ballora
Ree
and the
shoots
puppet.
Ninja?
Freddy Fazbear is also one of 2 animatronics to feature a second name, the other being Orville Elephant. During play, Freddy can game over the player in one of 2 ways, either by sneaking into the office if we leave the door open and stop monitoring him when he's outside, or by running out of power. Freddy Fazbear is also one of 2 animatronics to feature a second name, the other being Orville Elephant.
What?
During play, Freddy can game over the player in one of 2 ways, either by sneaking into the office if we leave the door open and stop monitoring him.
Hold on.
Orville Elephant. Music to precede a jump scare. Freddy is obviously one of them, the other 2 being Ballora and the puppet. Freddy Fazbear is also one of 2 animatronics to feature a second name, the other being Orville Elephant.
Oh, okay. I think I understood what he
During
says.
play,
Okay.
Freddy can
It
game
took
over the
me a
player in
minute to
one of 2
understand that.
ways, either by sneaking into the office if we leave the door open and stop monitoring
I
him
don't know
when he-
why my brain did this, but what I was hearing... sorry, I just got a text. What I was hearing... So what they're saying is they're the only animatronics that has 2 names in their name, right? Orville Elephant, Freddy Fazbear, 2 names for their name, as opposed to Foxy, Bonnie. Even wait, don't they all have full names that you can say, like Bonnie the blah 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 or something like that, or Foxy, like Foxy the pirate? But is that not? I guess that's technically not their like name. That's like their. Does Freddy have something? Freddy Fazbear, the lead man. Is that what it is? Bonnie the bunny? Yeah. See, I don't know. Unless there's like a Freddy Fazbear the front man, then I don't know if I... Anyway, we can just skirt past this. But, he texted me the same thing over and over. I thought what he was saying was that Freddy and Orville the elephant were the same person. That Freddy goes by a second name, Orville the elephant. So that's why I personally was having my shit rocked, because I was like, what? They're the same person? Like that's canon? So I was really confused.
Outside, or by
But okay.
running out of power, at which point the pizzeria shuts down and Freddy's face ominously lights up in the doorway as his eerie theme tune cues up. One final Freddy-related Easter egg can be found in the original FNAF when looking at this Celebrate poster in the security booth. If we move the mouse cursor over Freddy's nose and click on it, we hear a honking sound.
Okay, yeah, true. As is
A fun
tradition.
addition for sure. But what about the origins of Freddy? Who was he based upon, and where did Scott find influence for this particular animatronic?
Freddy
There
Fazbear
has
is
been
Orwell the
much
Elephant.
speculation
Game
on this
theory.
over
Freddy
the
Fazbear's
years,
secret
and
identity.
several sources can be cited. The first and most obvious would be Chuck E. Cheese, the star of the famous chain of restaurants under the same name. Many of the FNAF cast members seemingly take influence from these unintentionally creepy mascots, and with Chucky being the star attraction and a lead singer in the band, it's pretty obvious Freddy is his variant for Fazbear's universe. Especially when we look at that costume with the telltale top hat and bow tie. However, we can also look to another furry pizzeria mascot, Billy Bob from Showbiz Pizza Place, a band member, but more importantly, also a bear. The name Freddy Fazbear also has roots in another pop culture icon, it would seem, the Muppets character Fozzie Bear, whose name was based on his creator, Fazfazakis. So Freddy is a mixture of many influences, as well as having his own distinct and iconic design. With Freddy now accounted for, let's move on to a quick recap of his other forms over the years and the history behind some of those designs.
Never go near the surface. Everything good is above the surface.
Now streaming on Disney Plus.
Come on.
Now fallen into disrepair, this withered version of Freddy was the original version of the animatronic intended for the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza location. Unfortunately, he proved a bit too creepy for a family audience, but was later refurbished and so showed up in a repaired state for the original game. Toy Freddy was the revised version of the original withered form, designed to be less scary for the children visiting the pizzeria. As his name alludes, he is far more toy-like,
Cheese
with
is
a
scary,
glossy
yeah.
plastic sheen to his body.
And now we
more
know what the
rounded
Faz likely
features.
came from,
Although
yeah.
those soulless black eyes are pretty
Disney
horrifying.
Plus plug.
Toy Freddy is no pushover. He strides towards the office, where our hapless security guard can only equip a Freddy mask, in the hope this deceptively friendly-looking animatronic will move on without trying to make an endo sandwich. Toy Freddy also speaks in both FNAF AR and Ultimate Custom Night. His vocals are pantomime-like and recall the sound of mascots from kids' TV shows such as Barney the Dinosaur.
That game was totally rigged! I've got a special present just for you!
Hated Toy Freddy.
We first encountered this shiny white and purple version of Freddy while exploring Circus Baby's entertainment and rental site in FNAF's sister location. He has a large mouth full of chunky flat teeth and carries a mini puppet version of Bonnie known as Bon Bon on his right hand. The two work as a team, with Bon Bon distracting the player and allowing for Funtime to
Toy
launch
Freddy
a
looks
surprise
way
attack.
less
Now,
orange and
unlike
Help
Freddy
Wanted
Fazbear,
compared to
Funtime
Scott's
Freddy
model.
has a psychotic side and sounds positively unhinged at times.
Well, hello again. I see you over there in the dark. Come on out.
He was in part inspired by Pennywise the Clown from Stephen King's It, which quite frankly explains a lot. Creepiest of all, if we take a close look at the blueprint for Funtime Freddy, we see there is in fact a human body sitting inside its stomach. This most likely belongs to a girl called Millie, who climbed inside Funtime's stomach plate in the book Fazbear's Frights Volume 1, Into the Pit. The book alludes she did not make it out alive.
That's crazy to be inside of it and it like rolls its eyes back into its head to look at you.
He first appeared in FNAF 6 Pizzeria Simulator, where he featured in various minigames and throughout the in-game catalogue. He also helped the player with paperwork if any lawsuits needed to be taken care of while running the pizzeria. So he's one smart cookie. Since FNAF 6, he played a small role in VR game Help Wanted, as well as being selectable in Ultimate Custom Night, where he jump scares the player using an air horn. Molten Freddy is a mess of wires, circuits, and animatronic eyeballs. He constructed himself from the remains of Ennard and can be salvaged and brought into the pizzeria during the events of FNAF 6. If we look closely, we see what seem to be bloodstains around his mouth, a mouth filled with jagged, shark-like teeth. Eventually, Molten Freddy lives up to his name, as he is burned alongside the other animatronics during the game's true ending. A non-lethal animatronic that was first introduced in Pizzeria Simulator and just used for show purposes. We can buy Rockstar Freddy from the catalogue and place him on stage to rock out for our pizza-loving patrons. He is an amalgamation of other Freddy designs and, as always, he plays the role of singer in the band. However, one feature that does distinguish him from other Freddys is the bright gold star on his chest. Ultimate Custom Night finally gave Rockstar a voice and jump scare to boot.
Please deposit 5 coins. You are attempting to trick Freddy. You are attempting to...
Hey, how's it going? Ever heard about this game called League of Legends? Well, you're hearing about it now. Check it out. Each game you get put into...
Lefty was another new addition to the series, appearing first in FNAF Pizzeria Simulator, where he terrorized the player during their night shift in the ventilation system. That is, if we chose to salvage him. He is attracted by sound, and so keeping quiet is paramount. He looks a little like Rockstar Freddy, but has a missing eye and a grey body. If we look to the blueprint for Lefty, we can learn that he was in fact designed to trap the Puppet, a creepy entity first introduced in FNAF 2. Phantom Freddy has a charred appearance and is basically a burnt-up version of Golden Freddy in terms of his model. This ghoulish apparition shows up in FNAF 3 when our character begins hallucinating, entering the office and disabling the ventilation
They just look
system.
dirty. They just look like
There
water's
isn't
been
much
dripping
else
on
to
them.
say about this phantom version of the famous bear. He is simply there to aid Springtrap's quest and plays a fairly minor role in the FNAF series.
Yendo.
In case you didn't work it out from the name alone, this picture makes it very clear. Yendo is an endoskeleton bear. When compared to the regular Endo, we see quite the difference, with the other looking very humanoid in build. Yendo has a very small role in the FNAF series, appearing as an Easter egg of sorts in place of Funtime Foxy during the Funtime Auditorium within Sister Location. It is very
Watermelon
rare
Freddy.
to encounter him here, and even more horrifying as a result. One of the scariest looking versions of Freddy is his nightmare version from Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Here, Freddy's body is mangled and shredded, and parts of his endoskeleton can be seen beneath the damage. Tiny Fredbears poke out of these holes and snap manically at their victims. Nightmare Freddy's hands are clawed and his teeth sharp and pointy. His eyes glow orange and pierce our soul. The sound his mini Freddys make was in fact taken from an abattoir and is the sound of pigs squealing out before slaughter, but remixed at a much higher pitch.
We call
Take a
Phantom
listen
Chico
and
Watermelon.
see if you can spot it.
And you call me a FNAF god.
Fredbear doesn't appear much in the FNAF games, however he does play a fairly major role in the story. He is first referenced by Phone Guy during Night 5 of FNAF 2.
We're gonna try to contact the original restaurant owner. I think the name of the place was Fredbear's Family Diner or something like that. It was closed for years though. I doubt we'll be able to track anybody down.
We learn from FNAF 3 that Fredbear was the very first Freddy and so featured the dangerous spring-lock design. This unfortunately led to the death of Crying Child in FNAF 4 after his big brother and a group of bullies shoved him inside Fredbear's mouth. Due to the date of this game, speculated to take place in the year 1983, it is believed this event was not the bite of 87, but rather a second bite now known as the bite of 83. But this is greatly debated to this day. In Ultimate Custom Night, Fredbear actually speaks when jump scaring us, however his vocals are muffled and distorted.
How do
A
they
nightmare
how do they
version of
hear that?
Fredbear appears during FNAF 4 2. He looks very similar
They
to
must have to
Nightmare
like
Freddy,
do
save for
so
the
much
fact his
like
body is a dirty gold color,
like put
and
so
his
many
features
filters
far
on
more
it or like
exaggerated.
manipulate the audio so much.
can take you apart all over again.
Dreadbear is a play on the term Fredbear, and is a Hammer horror take on the design of that character. He basically looks like Frankenstein's monster, with stitches all over his body, sharp claw-like fingers, bolts through his neck, and bright glowing eye sockets. A creepy sight, to be sure. He was first introduced to the series when he appeared in FNAF Help Wanted DLC, The Curse of Dreadbear, and his minigame is quite literally set inside a mad scientist's laboratory where we must perform a deranged brain transplant.
What happened to us?
Streaming TV happened, man.
Hulu mail sucks.
These are the psycho aliens that tortured me and they're done!
Golden Freddy is a ghostly form of the bear who has completely unknown origins. He shows up in very spooky ways throughout the various Five Nights games. In the first game, for example, if we encounter a very specific series of events, after his poster appears in one of the security cameras, Golden Freddy then appears in the office and causes the screen to glitch and random images to flash up alongside bizarre audio before jumps to glitch and random images. Golden Freddy then
Why does it go down to 7% and then back up to 8?
appears in the office and causes the screen to glitch and random images to flash up.
Oh, probably because he's playing the same couple seconds over and over.
He then appears in the office and causes the screen to glitch and random images to flash up alongside bizarre audio before jump scaring the player and causing a game over. You may have noticed the jump scare noise is unique to Golden Freddy. He is one of only a few animatronics to feature a bespoke scare audio. In FNAF 2, Golden Freddy takes on a more withered guise, one in line with the other animatronics from that game. Creator Scott Cawthon doesn't even have an explanation for this mystery character himself, stating the following: "Sometimes things just happen during the game making process. I can't explain Golden Freddy." Of course, theories have been made, but just like the Bite of 83, no one knows if these fan-born ideas are accurate, and it seems like Golden Freddy really is an unexplainable anomaly within the madness of this sinister world. There are other versions of Freddy we could mention, including Shadow Freddy, who makes a few brief appearances, and Ned Bear, who has a minor role in FNAF 6 and Custom Night. And other designs have shown up in spin-off games and books, as well as his upcoming glam rock appearance from the game Security Breach. However, for now, this seems like a good point to wrap up this particular look at the character. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, remember to leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more horror-related content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.
What? Oops. Which FNAF is the scariest? Which one would
Hey
I
guys,
rate
Super
as
Horror
the
Bro Mike
scariest
here,
one?
and
I think... Honestly, I feel like 1 did a really good job with the jump scares. Like, I hate to be like, oh, the first game's the best, and da-da-da-da-da. I don't think it's the best, per se. But I feel like it gave them the best jump scares. I think there are, like, other games that had, like, stuff that made it better. Like, more mini games and more stuff, like, to do in them, but... I'm trying to think of a game, one of the FNAFs that gave me more jump scares than 1. Probably because it was, especially since it was usually our first one, so it was one that we were least used to. We'll probably end up putting the first one as
video,
number 1.
we take a look at every Five Nights at Freddy's game to see which is the scariest of all time.
Bro,
and
this
why.
link, I think.
We won't be
please.
looking at fan-made games and mods here, although if you would like me to cover these
Oh, we
in a
watched
separate
this
video,
already.
just let me know in the comments below. Instead, we focus on creator Scott Cawthon's 8 main entries, including this
Yeah, we
year's
watched that
VR
already. I don't know who
debut,
suggested
Help
it, but we
Wanted.
watched that. That was really
There's a
good.
lot of
I
ground
actually
to
really liked that
cover
video.
and games to play, so let's begin at the bottom of the stack with the least scary entry as we work up to the scariest of all time.
The least scary for me for me was 4. I don't care. It was hyped up way too much for me. Everyone was telling me that I was literally gonna shit a brick playing 4. Literally everybody was telling me. People got on my damn Reddit and was like, he's not gonna make it. People were saying this was gonna be the game that I quit playing FNAF. So honestly, it was just built up so much that it was almost a letdown.
Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, the 5th entry in the FNAF franchise, divided fans at the time of release because it took a radically different approach to both its presentation and gameplay. Instead of taking place in one room with a simple gameplay loop built around it, sister location had several different locations to traverse. Set inside Circus Baby's entertainment and rental, a warehouse where animatronics
Like
could be
4
rented
is
out
kind
for
of forced with
children's
scariness,
birthday
at least in
parties,
terms
the player must
of
crawl
character
from a
design.
central
Yeah,
hub
I can
area
agree with
through
that
vents
because
to different rooms.
that was the one with the teeth, right? They just all had like more teeth and everything was sharp and jagged. That's kind of like the
Within
basis behind their like
each with
character
minigame
models,
based
if I remember
objectives to
correctly.
complete. Much of the game is full of dorky humour, story exposition, and long stretches where the player is completely free
Dorky
from
humor?
danger, and as a result,
Dorko?
sister location feels far less nerve-wracking and challenging than other entries in the series.
I see what you were trying to type, and I will auto-correct it for you. Thank you for selecting Casual Bongos.
Although it should be noted, the game does contain a secret ending where we return to the classic FNAF
I do think
gameplay
Nightmare
formula
Fredbear
as we
and
try to
Nightmare
escape
Scary
one of the series' most terrifying animatronics, Ennard. Said to be a representation
Ultimate
of
custom.
William
Hey, appreciate the
Afton's
follow.
hell
Welcome to the
following his
stream.
demise at the end of Freddy
FNAF 3 is my
Fazbear's
personal
Simulator.
favorite since
Ultimate
Springtrap has
Custom
twisted and
Night
demented
isn't a
look
standard
film to
FNAF
him.
game. Instead of featuring a
Oh
strong narrative
man,
custom
I gotta.
night,
Oh no. Oh, that's my least favorite one.
is a customizable collection of
That's
wave-based
my
game
least
modes.
favorite FNAF.
It allows the player to pick from a bounty of different
I do like
animatronics found in
Springtrap's
previous FNAF
character.
titles, selecting
I'm
the difficulty
happy for the character that we got out of. You know what? I'm happy for the one character. I don't give a damn about these characters. These characters were all butt cheeks. But I'm happy for the one character that we got out of it. Not this one. Ugh. Ew. But I'm happy for the one. I'm Springtrap. I'm glad we got Springtrap out of it. Cool. That was a very big addition to everything. But the game itself,
levels begin spawning them into an ever more challenging environment to see how long we can survive their advances. Each animatronic features a
he's gonna
minigame
now
or
ramble
survival
about how
method
much
built
FNAF
around
this
them we must memorize and act upon if they decide to attack. There is a great deal to remember, and on harder difficulties, the game becomes a
I didn't
near
like
impossible
3, okay?
barrage of
I
enemy
just
waves
did not
that
like
few
it.
have
I
managed to
did it.
overcome. Custom Night certainly contains its fair share of jump scare
and 2 was
moments,
so. I feel like
perhaps
2
more
was
than
was
any
a
other
was
game
a was a
in the
really good one. So
series.
going
But
from
because
2
of
to
its
3 kind
unrelenting
of
bombardment
annoyed me.
of scares and its goofy premise, it soon becomes far less scary than a normal FNAF game. Instead, it has the power to frustrate more than terrify.
The FNAF 6 and FNAF 4 is better in comparison to 3.
So you never have to slow down.
Yeah, I liked
Stay on top of
I liked
emails,
FNAF
documents,
6.
and
I have to say I think FNAF 6 Pizzeria Simulator is probably my favorite one out of all the FNAFs. If I out of all the official FNAF games, Pizzeria Simulator, because I just love mini games. I really like mini games. That's honestly I might put the only reason it doesn't rank so high with me, Help Wanted, is because of how expensive Help Wanted was compared to all the other games. Like it was like what, like $30 some dollars or something like that. But ignoring that, I really liked how many different types of like mini games and like additional things you can do in that game. But Pizzeria Simulator was like a big part of it was, you know, like the restaurant like tycoon simulator thing. But the fact that you could play the mini games, that part was really cool to me. So I think Pizzeria Simulator probably my favorite one.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2 features perhaps the biggest departure from the original game's art style out of any of the following sequels. The animatronics certainly
So
looking
let's be
far less
honest, I'm
creepy
not
as
going
a
in
result. This is the main reason why, at
into
least
it
in
though.
my opinion, FNAF 2
FNAF 3
is
is better
far
than
less
4.
scary
I'm more of a
overall
FNAF
than many
UCN
of
fan.
Scott's other
FNAF 6 is also my favorite
The
since it
enemies
gives you a
just
sense
look
of
far less
closure with all the
intimidating.
spirits put to
That's not
rest.
to say that
Yeah.
FNAF 2 is devoid of scares though.
Yeah, it kind
In
of feels
fact,
like it
it's
actually has an
pretty
ending.
creepy overall. The mechanic of hiding behind a Fazbear mask in the security office as various animatronics
I feel
wander
like
over to
Sister
inspect is up
Location.
close and personal.
I feel like Sister Location and FNAF 3 somewhat have endings, but they're like they're like more so like, I mean, FNAF 6 obviously didn't end stuff, but its ending felt more ended, you know, like it was like, ha, this was what everything actually was. This was the grand plan. And with this, I bid you adieu. You know, like that was kind of like close the book on this game. Where like FNAF 3 and Sister Location, I'm probably not thinking of some other ones too. They had like ending, like even like ending cinematics, but it was, you know, kind of like, I don't know, like on to the next one, like type endings or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, stuff like FNAF 1 and 2 was just like, hey, you beat the last week, here's your check, you're fired. You know, it wasn't really, it didn't feel complete.
Is pretty unnerving. And the need to keep a music box cranked adds a constant anxiety
Now,
to the
pulled
mix
out a Glock.
also,
FNAF 2 is honestly the least scary game in the series, in my opinion.
Face to face with
I
this
think
terrifying puppet. FNAF 2 also
Hmm.
features another super creepy
I think FNAF 2... I might agree on that. I think FNAF 2 has more creepiness to it than actual scariness to it. Like stuff with like the toy animatronics, how they like creep up from the sides when you put your mask down. I find like stuff like that's mad creepy. It was probably creepier in like the Help Wanted version when you could actually see them walking towards you down the hall. But yeah, I don't know if I'd really consider a lot of the FNAF 2. I think FNAF 2's gameplay was really good. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
animatronic,
Especially when you're comparing it to like FNAF 1.
a creature made up from various pieces of scrap crudely bolted together. Mangle can hang down from the
Help
ceiling to
Wanted
attack from
was just a
above
VR
and is
experience,
sure
which
to
I feel
keep
most people
even
didn't
the most
realize.
fearless of
Oh, it
player
wasn't
on
just
the
a
edge of
VR
their
experience.
seat. So while not the scariest Five Nights experience,
Points
it
Glock
certainly
at Shadow.
has its
Where's our
moments.
UCN day? With Scott's original 7 games, none of the models were available to fans since the models weren't 3D, so
FNAF
fans had to
6,
recreate
also
them.
known as
Some of these fan
Freddy
models were
Fazbear's
actually
Pizza
more accurate
Simulator,
than
caught
Still
most
Wolves Help
fans
Wanted
off
models,
guard
therefore
upon its
used in
initial
more
release.
animations.
The game's Steam page
With
presented
Security
it
Breach
as a
though, there are no
free-to-play
official
pizza
Scott versions of the
simulator
models.
in the classic
Still Wool
8-bit
are the
style,
official
with the
models, so
cryptic
technically no
backstory
fan models will
minigames
be
the
more
series
accurate
is
than the ones in the
known
game.
And
I
sure
just think
enough,
that's kind
the
of
game
interesting.
begins as exactly that.
FNAF 2 has
However,
some
before
creepy
long, it
renders.
becomes apparent
Withered
that as
Chica's
well as
terrifying,
managing
rather than
a
that, and
pizza
find it
joint,
scary.
we must
Yeah, it
also
had
take
more of a
part in the usual
creepy
Five
feel to
Nights
it
survival
than
horror
a like
gameplay.
a actual like.
We play as the manager of a
you know?
newly founded pizzeria and must survive in the ventilation system as we
I just
try
think
to
FNAF
complete
2 was
a
too busy to
number
have
of
any
noisy
real creep
end-of-shift
or
duties,
scary.
such
Yeah,
as
it was
pending orders.
I actually did. I tried to like count up how many were in FNAF 2, but when you go from FNAF 1 to FNAF 2, the amount of animatronics are so much more. So like in FNAF 1, we've got Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and I'm pretty sure that's it. Those 4. I'm trying to think of anybody else. Yeah, that was it. I mean, like the power running out, but like that was just Freddy. But then you got those 4. But then you go to FNAF 2. We got Freddy, Golden Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, Withered Bonnie. Was Withered Chica in that game? Foxy, Mangle, BB, Puppet. And that's all I can think of, like off the top of my head. I don't know if there's more. But that's 9. You go from 4 to 9. It was way more busy. FNAF 2 panic. FNAF 3 is unnerving, creepy, more than scary. Now FNAF 4 is just terrifying in every way possible. It was really hyped up for me, so I just didn't get too scared with FNAF 4. And I feel like I beat it really fast. If I remember correctly, I think the last 2 nights, the one with Nightmare Fredbear and the one with Nightmare, I'm pretty sure those 2 nights together, I think it took me like a total of like maybe 3, 4, or maybe even 5 attempts to beat both of those nights.
Salvage operation,
not like
then
each,
the
but like
animatronic
all
jump
together.
scares us and becomes yet another threat on the night shift.
Begin audio prompt in 3, 2, 1.
I'll be honest, this audio prompt shit, I didn't figure it out. I didn't understand. I was just guessing. Like, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I thought that like it was gonna do like an audio prompt, and like if it moves after that noise, then you click it or you write something down, right? But I couldn't tell if it was moving or not, or if I was
shift.
Maybe I was pulling this up too fast.
Begin audio prompt in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, but I feel like I always answered before the audio prompt or something. Whatever it was, I wasn't figuring it out. It was one of those things where I just kind of like lucked through it all.
Some incredibly dark and disturbing backstory sequences, making it a very scary experience.
Toy Freddy, Toy Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, Mangle, BB, Marionette, Withered Freddy, Withered Bonnie, Withered Chica, and Withered Foxy, and Golden Freddy. Just realized I spelled Mangle wrong. It's alright. Said Golden Bana, so you're good. Oh, let me skip this ad. Molten Freddy and Scrap Trap are my personal favorites from Pizzeria Simulator. Lefty and Scrap Baby are cool as well. The Salvation sections in Pizzeria Simulator are certainly confusing. Toy Bana. Yeah, I'm gonna make a character. I gotta make an animatronic now called Toy Bana. It's got to be a thing.
He died in, stalking us through its halls.
They're like, what's the inspiration? Toy Bonnie? No, my stupidity. that was the inspiration.
The idea is to make sure we distract Springtrap for long enough to survive.
Yeah, I got confusing with the whole scrap section. Oh my god. That's the only thing that was freaky about the fucking about Scrap Trap in this game was his movements that were visible from this office, right? So like if you were just chilling, it's not too good because he's looking over here. But if you're looking over here, you can kind of see like the edge. Maybe you need like the panel up or whatever. But you can kind of see over here. And if you see him like peeking out from around the door, that's terrifying. If you see him like run from here to here, that's terrifying. Or like we just saw right here, when he pulls up the camera, you're gonna see him run behind the camera. That's the only part of this that was scary. That's scarier than his jump scare. The like walking towards you and playing the rainbow unicorn pony, My Little Pony attack sound. Like that was, those movements are way scarier. And yes, they do share the same sound file as like the Rainbow Unicorn My Little Pony show. I don't know why.
Which then allows Afton to reach us more quickly.
Molten Freddy, you mean Spaghetti Freddy? Toy Shadow the
Due to the random nature of these phantom scares and
salvage
the
sequence
creepy way
equal
Springtrap
confusion.
watches us from the
His jump scare is just
doorway
like,
of the
hey,
office,
it really is. What you got there?
the mangled body of William.
Yo, yeah, why didn't they ever include this type of stuff in the jump scare? Like, why wasn't his jump scare like ripping his like helmet off to like expose his like skull towards you or something like that? That could have been so much cooler instead of like literally what you said. Hey, like that's he just walks up to you. Got change for $1. You know, like it's like some random dude at a gas station. Look at this.
Stares us down as he calmly slinks over to attack. The dull and dimly lit sound
Hold on,
as he
I have to hear how he described this, because he probably gave them way too much credit for this. He probably made this actually sound like it was scary. Hold on.
There's something supremely eerie about the way in which he stares us down as he calmly slinks.
Okay, see, we can hear it, right? Let's do this. Well, I mean, we can see it, so we can literally see that it's not scary at all. We can literally watch him walking up and going, "Hey!" So let's do this. Let's just pretend like let's just pretend like, there we go. Now you can't see nothing. Now let's listen to it again and see if what he's describing sounds way scarier than what we actually see.
Supremely eerie about the way in the Springtrap suit, and there's something supremely eerie about the way in which he stares us down as he calmly slinks over to attack.
He made that sound terrifying, but oh god.
In which
Hey! It's not scary at all.
The dull and dim.
And I gave them so much credit for making Toy Bonnie look creepier than he should have.
All in all, a game that is pretty uncomfortable to play.
Oh, that would have been so cool. Yeah, man. Like I feel like they could have had some fun with it.
The top 3 scariest FNAF
Because that'd been way too much programming for one Scott Cawthon on the third entry into the series. Yeah, there is that part that we always got to factor in. A lot of people don't factor in that part. Is that up, like, literally when FNAF 2 or FNAF 1 came out, he was just like no name indie developer with like no success that was like, fuck it, this is my last one, right? So like, you put yourself in that mindset. It's not like he had like tons of money to like throw at the game. It's not like he had like a bunch of people behind him. It's not like he had like a huge fan base that like he knew there would be some benefit of like putting that much work into it. That's why I kind of take the story and the plot with a grain of salt. When you consider that like he had probably zero idea what he was doing with the plot, like the first like 4 to maybe even 5 games. But yeah.
Introduced the world to a new kind
especially
of
now
game,
hearing how he did the 3D render for Foxy.
Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, and Chica.
My man was
Designs
struggling
that
back
have
in the
stood
day.
test of time with their simple creep factor. There's always been something eerie about animatronics, and Scott Cawthon took this uncanny fear to the max in the
How
original
does Scrap
game,
Trap
where
show
we
visible
survive
bone
5
and
nights
muscle
of hell
tissue
as
and
a
Springtrap
security
does
guard
not?
watching the pizzeria by night.
These are
A
good
time
questions.
when these family-friendly mascots
It's uncomfortable to
take
play
on a
because
sinister
it's bad.
nature,
No
hunting
name
us
dude from
until the
Texas
clock
working at Home
strikes
Depot.
6.
Let's go! Let's go! Oh, it's such a good feeling!
Whether it's Foxy's mad dash from Pirate's Cove,
Calder knows.
sight of Bonnie or
Calder's
Chica in
been
the
here for almost
doorway
all
when
of
checking the
it.
lights,
Every single one. Let's go!
or the car running down the road, Freddy waiting in the darkness. One thing is for sure, the original is still
The part
to
over the
this
bone
day, the scariest
and muscle
in many
tissue has
aspects
fallen off
and
between 3
remains
and
a
6.
classic modern horror game for that reason.
You know what would be really
Most
great?
people fear the
You know
dark at
how
some point during their childhood, and
Tall Tale games are? Like how it's just like mainly just about like the story. Like the gameplay isn't like, there's not a lot of like extra stuff you do in the game. It's mainly just like a walking around and like being a part of like the plot. I would love to see some FNAF stuff like that, where you're just like progressing through the plot, like and just hearing lore and story. Like it's just heavily based on telling you story and lore. For me, that's always been the coolest part about games. I feel like over the years, gaming, like people who write for games, certain games, these people in a different life would have been amazing authors. Like there's such crazy cool stories that'll pop up in some games. So I've always like really liked the lore aspect and the storytelling aspect of video games. So with the FNAF story getting more and more in depth, like the more he tries to like explain something or simplify it, the more complicated and more questions he ends up creating. So I the more it gets to be like that, the more I want a game where it's just like 2 + 2 is 4. The sky is blue. The moon is it's in the sky at night. Like tell us. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to keep going to MatPat. Okay? I know he means well, but I gotta sift through a lot of bullshit to find out the actual lore when I'm watching him. I just want something that's gonna tell me the facts. Okay? The hardcore facts. That's what I want.
Some even carry that fear into their adult life too. There's certainly something creepy about what we can't see living in the darkness, no matter how irrational it may seem. The thing
Get that, but you can see inside Springtrap's suit. When you see inside Scrabtrap's, you see bone and muscle.
Five Nights at Freddy's 4 homed in on this concept by making an entire
Yeah, but if we do
game
that, it
based
takes away
around
from the best part of the
concept
series, figuring out the
surviving a
lore that's
night
extremely
as a
hidden.
child
No, they could
afraid
still
of
do
the
it.
dark.
They could still do that, you know?
However, in the dark
They could potentially hide even more stuff, you know? But like I just want some of the story, man. Give me just give it to me. Give me the story. I want it. I want it. All right. You can put hidden stuff. You can put all that. You can put messages in the clouds and shit as you're walking through a field. Like you can do all that stuff. But like, I just want something that's like lore driven from the FNAF series. It just focuses because I feel like the lore is like the best part of these games. I don't even think the gameplay at this point is the best part of these games. It's the like how much more there is below the surface.
The ultimate nightmare version of the classic designs. As well as attempting to locate these nightmares,
like imagine imagine Pac-Man, the old school arcade version of Pac-Man, not like whatever like new version they have these days. I think that I saw one where there's like some 3D version of they're walking around. Imagine like there's some old like Pac-Man game that people just kept playing because the lore was crazy. It's like, oh, you know, they'll sell on the second level of Pac-Man. You saw how there was actually like 3 ghosts instead of 4 ghosts. That's because the third ghost disappeared because the first Pac-Man from the first game actually becomes the next ghost, and that's because the bite of 87 happened. And when you pick up the cherry fruit, that's actually in 1972, there was a cherry fruit that got stuck down this guy's throat, and like that type of shit is crazy. At a certain point, it's no longer about like the super simplistic gameplay. It's more so like, oh, look at this cool like this gameplay loop that I'm so used to. But then also like, oh, what's this mean? What's the info here? How does this add to the story? What does this confirm? What does this deny? You know, like I feel like that's as time goes on, that's more so what FNAF is becoming.
We must check both the bed, 2 doors, and closet for oncoming threats, and only the faint sound of animatronic cues us to their
But enough they never
locations.
gave away
There's
as
few
to
moments in the
giveaways
series more
why William
terrifying
killed all
than
the
checking
souls.
doorway to see
Some
one
say he
of
killed him to
these
bring
guys
back his
right up in
son,
your
the crying
face.
child. Yeah, that's another thing that I always wondered about was they never really go too far into the fact that William was just like this starts off with William just being like this psycho, right? Like that's just kind of like I thought there would be like a I feel like if there isn't a base reason, an exact reason, like, oh, he was doing it because he was always like really into witchcraft and he was trying to find immortality from jump. And I think that we've talked about this, and they like it ends up becoming an immortality thing or like trying to save his kid or whatever, right? But he killed prior to that. So it's like, dude's just crazy. Dude's just a psychopath. So I would like a William Afton origin story where they just like the moment he snaps, the moment he becomes, you know, or like if he's always been like that, like I want to see a story where they're like, you know, like even as a child, he, you know, we had to keep moving from town to town. The first incident, a little boy in preschool, he got his hands on the safety scissors and anyway, we moved little William to the next town over, and it just kept happening at every single school we took him to, you know, like I want to see some shit like that, you know, or if he was like regular up to a certain point, and then like one day he's like, you know, he's like, I don't know, babysitting some kid, and like he just like fucking snaps and like he kills some kid that he's babysitting, and like from there he got the bloodlust and he just kept killing it up until adulthood. I feel like we're missing a lot of William Afton's story. And I think someone said this before, that a lot of William Afton's like allure is the mystery behind it, you know? But I want to know. I want an origin story, you know? Hey, Wolverine was mad mysterious, right? But his origin story did pretty good. So.
Backstory told throughout
There's
the
some
game
there.
via 8-bit style cutscenes, and you have without a doubt one of the
FNAF
scariest
equal
and
Funky
most
Pac-Man.
unsettling games in the series.
Maybe in Security Breach they'll give William his own section or stories. I feel like Security Breach is gonna be like.
We have Help Wanted.
Let me skim through the games real quick. FNAF 1, FNAF 2, FNAF 3, definitely. FNAF 4. Yeah. I feel like probably I might be wrong about this, but I feel like FNAF Security Breach might have the least amount of William Afton. I could be wrong, but I feel like they're gonna like hardcore focused on people that are outside of like this William Afton circle. I feel like they're gonna be focusing on the people that they're introducing. I could be wrong, and they may like hone in on the connection between William Afton and Vanny, but I feel like I could be wrong. I feel like William Afton, his name probably won't even be mentioned to like the final like cinematics. I could be wrong there. I would say that FNAF 4 is that story, but even before he lost his kids, he was still being a psycho. Maybe he could have been extremely abused as a child, or his dad killed his mother and traumatized him. Yeah, these are all possible like plot points they could put into the story. I would love to see it.
Officially launch in virtual reality. It should be no surprise that this is the scariest Five Nights experience, as we are literally
I feel like
face to face with Freddy and his friends.
It's possible to just be like some crazy
realized
person,
3D,
right?
giving us
It's
the
possible,
player
but I feel
freedom to
like
explore
with all the
environments
information
and
we have
scares
now,
up
as
close and
time goes
personal
on,
as it.
the odds of somebody just being quote unquote crazy is very low. People are very, very unique and complicated and in depth. So like even murderers or bullies or like fucked up mean people, like there's usually something that like it's like those wind up toys. Like there's something that's winding up that personality or that behavior, and then at some point they're completely wound up, and then they're just unleashed onto the world, right? So I feel like there's a small chance that like they're gonna go with the whole he's just crazy, he just likes killing people. But I feel like there's got to be something that happens that turns you into this. Like there's something that happens. There's some sort of trauma or issue or something that triggers it.
It includes many classic moments from franchise history, including most of the ones we've covered in this very video. Everything feels much more realistic and immersive, and the new character Glitch Trap and his backstory is pretty creepy. The deeper we get into this game, the stranger the story becomes, and we discover this story via a series of hidden audio tapes which reveal the very code of the game itself is cursed and haunted.
By creating a protected area to store these logs apart from the game, I effectively gave this thing a safe place to hide itself. It's in here now. I may not be able to delete it, but I might be able to do something else now that it's attached itself.
This is both a celebration of FNAF's scariest moments and a way to introduce these characters.
FNAF 3 was really the only actual game where it tied some loose ends. At the same time, it gave us how William became Springtrap. Know why he killed Pryor, why he kept killing. Cassettes, the biggest secret is a bunch of cassettes.
And that's it for today's video. Please remember to give it a like if you did enjoy watching, and maybe drop a comment too, as well as subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications so you never miss subscribing.
Three creepy kids cartoon show conspiracy theories
to the channel and turning on notifications so you never miss an upload. This channel specializes in variety horror content, including creepypasta readings, horror gaming facts and theories, and general interest pop culture horror.
I used to read creepypasta
so if you're
when I couldn't
interested
sleep.
in all things,
that did not help. Oh, we never watched this. Creepypastas. I used to read a lot of creepypastas.
Hey guys,
I used to love
tomorrow-
reading creepypastas that were like, that could somewhat apply to some facet of my life. To have one foot in reality and 1 foot in complete terror. So like, it's really funny that I ended up liking FNAF because one of the big ones that I really liked, and they talked about this on one of the videos we watched the other day, was the haunted Disney stuff. Now, there's like a whole string of like Disney creepypastas, but essentially they all tend to revolve around some sort of like entity or ghost or something at Disney. But usually the suits, you know how like the suits that they wear, like Mickey Mouse's suit and Goofy and stuff like that. These suits usually came into play in some way or another, and they're usually like it'll be like somebody who like broke into like Disney and like stayed there like overnight. And they'll get down into the catacombs. And for anyone who doesn't know what the catacombs are, those are like a bunch of like underground tunnels that they use at Disney World for like people to like get around real fast, like maintenance people and shit like that. And like that's how they get rid of like the trash. And they don't have it at Disneyland, but they have it at Disney World. And usually, I mean, sometimes there's different variations. Well, they'll stay at different parts of the park, but usually people will make their way down to the catacombs at some point, and those suits will start walking around, and that always messed with me, especially since at the time I was like really into like Disney, and I think I had recently went with my family, so yeah, that messed with me. Also, creepypastas that had to deal with video games because they were usually made by someone who played video games. So they had a certain level of like realness to them, like they were believable almost from a video game player standpoint. Like if a particular game, like they'd be like, yeah, so I loaded up and I went to the loading screen, and normally where it would say yada yada, like it all clearly it was a gamer who would be telling you the story, and then they from that point just start like adding shit in and turning it into like a horror story. It was usually pretty good. They mess up my
here,
sleep.
And in today's video, we return to the world of Five Nights at Freddy's with a look at 10 more essential fan games. If you want to catch up,
There's one
with the best
animatronic that I
unofficial
personally
FNAF
love
games out there, check out
that not many people talk about. This character being
video.
Grim Foxy,
But
since he has a
now,
past, it's also
sit
shrouded
back,
in mystery.
relax, and let's
Other than that,
dive
he's
into the best
possessed.
FNAF fan
Grim
games,
Foxy.
Part 2. After filling in a brief job application, we step into
Is
the
this
shoes
the,
of the latest security guard and a night watchman of Circus Baby's Diner, where a surveillance
Halloween
system
version
known as
of,
Avos explains the ins and outs of our new
Not
shift.
the FNAF 4 Halloween one? Is this what it is? FNAF 4's Halloween Foxy? Yeah, the Help Wanted DLC for what you call it, right? But that's who this character is. He's the FNAF 4 character, but like the DLC, the haunted Halloween guy. Yeah, I think so. Yes? Okay. That's the bastard from the Halloween Help Wanted.
Establishment number 1. I am a VOS, short for Advanced Voiceover System. I will be your personal guide for the week.
Everything seems very familiar. Monitor various camera points to watch for animatronic movement, keep the generator powered up, and lock down the doors and vents if anyone gets a little too close for comfort. This is all presented beautifully, with fantastic character models and environments that look every bit as good as the best official Five Nights at Freddy's games on the market. After each night, we must fill in a variety of forms to report back to HQ about any suspicious activity, and soon even the Avos security system itself seems to be acting strangely. It's nice to see a fan game embracing a more varied
Wait, which game is
lineup.
this?
First official Five Nights at Freddy's, the very familiar. Monitor various camera the ins and outs, step into the show.
Oh, Circus Baby's Diner. Okay, I've heard of this one.
Keep the comfort. This is all HQ about any suspicious activity, and soon even the
My
ADOS
personal
security
favorite fan
system
games are
itself
Joy of
seems to be
Creation
acting
and the Glitched
strangely.
Attraction.
It's nice to
What's
see
the
a fan
Glitched
game
Attraction?
embracing
We
a
played
more
Joy of
varied
Creation.
lineup
That was
of the
really fun.
typical 4 iconic mascots too. Circus Baby's Diner pits Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, Ballora, and Circus Baby against the player, and their varied mechanics keeps gameplay tense and exciting.
The Web of Cogs and
The Web of Cogs
Oil.
and Oil is a selection of 4 different mini-games which only really connects to the FNAF universe via the inclusion.
You know, this says
of
it said we didn't watch this video, but I think we watched this video, man. Because we definitely saw that one that it just showed us.
Afton's Revenge
I don't
places
recognize
us in the
this.
shoes of everybody's favorite series.
Oh wait, in this one we just go attack all the animatronics, right?
William from the series. Each stage takes place in a different environment, many of which it's the axe and use it,
Yeah,
as the
we've seen
title
this one.
suggests, to destroy Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Freddy. However, we must be careful not.
Yeah, we saw that one. I definitely remember all 3 of those. The Glitch Attraction is kind of like an escape room. I think it was only a demo, but from what's there, it's really good. We might have to add that to the list. We have like a big list of FNAF fan games that we're knocking out one by one. If you have any fan games that you guys want us to try, post them in Discord. If anyone who doesn't have the Discord, here's the link. Yeah, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna eat. Because I really just want to eat that food again. But I'm trying not to get sick of that pasta. I'm trying not to, but man, I really want to eat more of it. It's so good. It's so good. So good. Telling you, man, I've never used yogurt as a base for a sauce. That's crazy.
Hey guys, Super Horror Bro Mike here.
That's
and
crazy.
In today's video, we begin a new series on the channel as we return
Yogurt.
to the world of Fazbear Entertainment with a look at the history behind each and every mainline Five Nights at Freddy's game. Last year, I put together a detailed rundown of the animatronics inhabiting Scott Cawthon's terrifying yet captivating universe, and now we turn to the games themselves. Each episode will look at a particular game, in this case the original FNAF, and then touch on the following associated elements. Development history,
Might be
story
good,
and
but is it
gameplay,
creepy?
and
It's
finally,
creamy.
Easter eggs and secrets.
Very creamy.
Along the way, I'll also sprinkle in a few interesting trivia facts too. This will be a basic template.
Unless you're not talking about my food.
Series, as we cover everything from the original FNAF.
There's a
all the way
fan
up to
game I saw
security
recently
breach,
called
item
Visiting
rise,
Fazbear's, and it's like a free roam
So
game
sit
with
back,
PS1
relax,
graphics. It
and
looks
let's
pretty
travel
cool.
back in time to
We
the
might have
year
to give it a shot.
2014, when a horror game legend was born. In order to understand how Five Nights at Freddy's came to be, we first need to understand why. Scott Cawthon is the creator and mastermind behind the
Looking pretty in shape, bro. Like, this is definitely not the Scott Cawthon I've seen in photos.
entire franchise. But while most of the internet knows him for his work in the horror genre, it wasn't always like this for Scott. He came from humble beginnings, often working on independent games with wholesome family-friendly values. In fact, Cawthon's very first game was a project affectionately titled Doofus, which he made as a teenager in the early 90s. Believe it or not, this colourful and simplistic arcade game was made on ClickTeam Fusion, the same game engine as FNAF would eventually adopt itself.
That's kind of
Back then,
funny.
It was known as Click and Play. From this kooky dino shooter, Scott would eventually move on to a series of games created via the use of pre-rendered visuals.
I have a theory where the
These
timeline
include
goes
Chip
like
and
this:
Son's
FNAF
Lumber
4,
Company
FNAF
and
5,
Desolate
FNAF
Hope,
2,
both of
1,
which were
3, and
criticised for
6.
containing creepy animatronic-esque character designs despite being aimed at children, especially true in the case of Chipper. Fun fact, Scott Cawthon created over 60 games before finally hitting mainstream popularity and acclaim with the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, which he has focused on ever since, so you could say by this point he had well and truly honed his craft. Now, while these early days of struggling to create a successful game series may have looked bleak for Scott, the criticism he received about the rather creepy animations for his character renders in Chipper & Sons were in fact what led to FNAF's creation. Scott was reportedly ready to quit game creation altogether, but decided to turn the criticism to his advantage and play to his strengths. He would create a game where family-friendly mascots turned evil and scary animations were essential, dipping his proverbial toe in the waters of a genre he'd previously shied away from: horror games. Hence the birth of Five Nights at Freddy's and its cast of terrifying animatronics. Five Nights at Freddy's was first submitted to the Steam Greenlight program on June 13th, 2014. A Kickstarter launched the following day, but was cancelled soon after, perhaps as Scott realised he could get the game made with his own budget. But a fun fact is, before removing this funding campaign, it did reveal an interesting tidbit about the central antagonist Freddy Fazbear. He was originally simply to be called Freddy Bear, a play on Teddy Bear.
Freddy Bear!
Alongside the Steam Greenlight page and Kickstarter, a trailer was also launched over on Scott's YouTube channel to give players a sneak peek at the concept for the game. Check it out.
That's what they should have did in FNAF 3.
You may have noticed Foxy does not appear in this trailer, and it is Bonnie who runs
Yes.
down the hallway
Yes,
in
we
his
know.
place. Now, it could be that Foxy was a late addition to the game, or perhaps his model wasn't ready to show yet, or the animatronic mechanics changed during development. Either way, it's a cool little change that now remains exclusive to this trailer. Like many of Scott's early FNAF games, it didn't take long for the announcement of Five Nights at Freddy's to the game's final release. A demo launched on July 24th, 2014, and FNAF was greenlit and released on Steam shortly after on August 18th of 2014. An Android and iPhone version came the same year on August 25th and September 11th respectively. The game opened to massive success, becoming an internet phenomenon, and this was in some part due to the overwhelming support from the YouTube community. Notable playthroughs from creators such as Markiplier and PewDiePie added to the game's initial traction, and over the following years, FNAF transitioned from cult indie classic into one of the most popular horror game series of all time. We've covered how FNAF came to be, but maybe there are some of you out there in the audience asking, well, what is this game and what the heck is it all about? In this section of the video, I'll quickly answer those burning questions. However, it must be stated we will not dwell too much on speculation and theory talk. That opens a whole can of worms and could lead to an entire video by itself. Instead, we will focus on simply the information given to us by the game at the time of its release. So, here goes. We take on the role of a mysterious security guard named Mike Schmidt, a character since speculated to be Michael Afton. This information is given to us upon the completion of the game, where we see a paycheck featuring said name. Fun fact, the amount on this payslip roughly corresponds to the going rate of pay back in 1993. So while we are not given a definitive year that FNAF takes place in, we can speculate the mid-90s, and given the decor and
what's funny
technology, this seems
is that
accurate.
you'll see like that paycheck. Holy shit! I thought we saw so much more of this video already. We'll see that paycheck and be like, oh, look how small it is. You know, that paycheck actually has much more buying power than like a paycheck these days with like 10 times its amount. It's crazy.
As the title suggests, we work the night shift at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a sort of Chuck E. Cheese type establishment. Fun for the whole family.
Like our wages have gone up over time,
even worse
but the price of everything else has gone up at a much higher rate than our wages.
Any good game out there that's free? Boy, kids, you're new with League of Legends.
However, unlike Chuck E. Cheese, these particular robots are possessed by the spirits of several missing children, and now roam the halls of a pizzeria by night, looking to cram any humans they detect into endoskeletons, as remarked by our only companion, Phone Guy.
So just be aware, the characters do tend to wander a bit. They're left in some kind of free roaming mode at night. Something about their servos locking up if they get turned off for too long.
Each of the 5 nights we spend at the pizzeria contain a phone conversation with this mysterious caller. They start jolly enough, but eventually devolve into something far more sinister and creepy.
Hey, do me a favor. Maybe sometime you could check inside those suits back there. You know. Oh no.
Fun fact, Phone Guy is actually voiced by creator Scott Cawthon himself, and appears in several FNAF games, as we will see as the series continues. Very little is known about Phone Guy, other than he is also an employee of Fazbear Entertainment, and seems to meet a sticky end before our arrival. The rest of the story is pretty vague, and this has led to the creation of many fan theories which attempt to explain what exactly is happening here. We now know the missing children referenced by newspaper clippings throughout the game were abducted and killed within the back room of the pizzeria by William Afton, the man who designed and built the animatronics their spirits now possess. Afton hid the bodies of his victims inside these suits, causing the children to bond with their animatronic coffins and then haunt the building by nightfall. So the objective is to survive 5 nights, with each becoming progressively harder to see through. Night shifts begin at midnight and end at 6 AM. Successfully finishing a night results in the following sequence.
Let's go! Let's go!
Despite Five Nights at Freddy's difficulty being pretty brutal at times, especially for new players who don't fully understand the mechanics, the basic gameplay loop is very simple. Using the mouse, we point and click our way around a camera security system accessed from a tablet in the security office. This tablet can be used to keep track of the various animatronics, making sure they aren't getting too close to our location. If they do, then we must use the electronic doors to the left and right of our room. The wrinkle here is that we have a limited amount of power, and with every action, from checking cameras to boarding down doors, our power meter gradually depletes. This means we must only check up on the animatronics and safeguard ourselves when absolutely necessary. Otherwise, the power runs down and Freddy says hello.
I'm pretty sure I burnt the power so fast. My first time playing, I'm pretty sure I ran through the power so fast. I had no idea how I was supposed to be conserving, or what was going to be conserving, or what was going to be burning, or...
A 6th and 7th night become available as bonus rounds. These are extremely difficult and intended as super challenges for players who want a little more pushback from the game. Of course, it wouldn't be a FNAF retrospective without a look at the animatronics themselves. As previously mentioned, I have put up a detailed look at each of these characters before, but in the interest of keeping everything together in one place, here is a quick recap of each.
Live sports.
Ooh,
Thousands of live events.
Yes, quick second. Grab a drink. Quick drink, quick drink. About time to work out. That's how late it was. I'm not a big fan of this protein that I'm using right now. That's sweet. I don't really like the super sweet taste. Like, it literally smells like cake batter or brownie batter. Well, some people like that, but rather just taste decent. Alright.
Chica is a yellow chicken, sometimes confused as a duck. She is always hungry for pizza and even carries a sweet treat known as Mr. Cupcake on a tray as a sidekick of sorts. However, the cupcake only ever appears at the beginning of the night and is not an item Chica brings with her while out hunting. Her bib reads,
Greedy
"Let's
asshole."
eat," again confirming her ravenous appetite. During the day, Chica was the backup singer for the Fazbear Band, as she states in her portion of the Showtime song.
Hey, I'm Chica, the lady of the group. My singing is a treat.
So sweet.
But keep an eye on your pizza.
'Cause I'm a bird who likes to eat. Nom, nom, nom.
During each night, Chica will attack from the right side of the office. She can often be heard clattering about in the kitchen, which is a good way to detect her presence. If we allow Chica to reach the office and don't close the door
So
before...
I never realized this, but you could tell if Chica was even gonna be walking towards you by just stopping by this camera, right? Because isn't it like if you don't hear dishes, she's not in the kitchen? Never knew that. I don't think I would have used this anyway, but still, never knew that.
If we allow Chica to reach the office and don't close the
I
door
forgot
before
what
referencing
video we
the
were
camera
watching
once
where that
more,
like
then the following jump
was like
scare
a
plays out.
type moment for me.
In terms of her origins, Chica's design seems to be inspired by Chuck E. Cheese mascot Helen Henny. This makes sense, as the restaurant chain was a known influence for the FNAF games, and so their characters naturally feed into this. Both Helen Henny and Chica are backup singers in their respective bands. Some have also concluded that Chica may have taken design cues from an early McDonald's character called Birdie the Early Bird. There is certainly a similarity for sure. Another inspiration which seems very plausible is the character of Chica from The Chica Show, who is also an overtly happy yellow chicken. Bonnie is a purple rabbit who, despite the name, is indeed male. As you can see from his instrument of choice, Bonnie is band guitarist and proclaims as much in his Showtime song.
Bonnie's my name, I'm hopping along with floppy ears and a cottontail. My guitar is blazing, this rabbit's hair raising. Just listen to me wail.
Take it, Bonnie.
Bonnie always attacks from the left side of the office, moving gradually closer and often hiding in the nearby janitor closet. If he manages to get inside the office, Bonnie will not immediately grant the player a game over screen. Rather, he lays in wait until we bring up our tablet once more and then pounces with the following jump scare. Here are some facts about Bonnie. While developing the game, Scott Cawthon mentioned that Bonnie the Rabbit was his most feared animatronic. In fact, he even had nightmares about him. This was mainly due to Scott using Bonnie as the placeholder jump scare for all characters in the early stages of development. He even stated that he never really found the other three all that scary. Bonnie's origin is believed to derive from Chuck E. Cheese mascot Mr. Munch, and also guitarist Jack.
As a kid, there was a
Jones.
face that I could make if I made it in the mirror and saw it myself.
Next up, we have
I'd scare the hell out of
everybody's
myself.
favorite
I don't know
Foxy,
why that has the
a
same
red
energy
fox with
as
damage up and
Scott
down his
making
body, revealing
a 3D
sections
render
of
that
the
scares him.
endoskeleton beneath. Foxy has a hook for a hand and wears an eye patch over his right eye. Unlike the other animatronics, Foxy doesn't roam around the pizzeria by night. Instead, he peeks out from behind his curtain in Pirate's Cove and slowly creeps to the edge of his camera feed. If we allow him to leave the camera, then we must quickly close the door to the left of the office and switch to the hallway camera to send Foxy back to his cove. When switching to the left hall camera, we see the freaky fox sprinting full pelt towards us. Something I personally have always found quite unnerving. Sometimes we can hear Foxy singing a rather strange tune from behind his curtain. Take a listen. It is unknown why this singing occurs, making it all the more unsettling. Here are some Foxy facts. Foxy was in large part a creation of one of Scott's children. According to one of Scott's sons, Foxy was created during a road trip to visit family in New York. Scott would ask his children for input into the character designs to add a little extra spookiness to them. Scott also added to these comments by suggesting the reason why Foxy's body is so torn up was due to him being hard to model on a bumpy car ride. Who knows if this is true or simply a joke, but it's undeniable that Foxy's origins are interesting. Foxy is also the only character in FNAF history to date to not jump scare the player by attacking directly into camera, instead appearing in the doorway. In terms of inspiration, 3 characters often attributed to Foxy's design are Chuck E. Cheese character Foxy Colleen, Showbiz Pizza Place's Rolf de Wolf, and most
I really thought
notably,
this was gonna be
Dastardly
like
Foxy.
a thing about the story or the plot, and I'm realizing he's just going into like every
Deloxy
detail we
from
know about
Disney's
FNAF 1.
1943 short animation Chicken Little.
Valorant? Is it Valorant? Yeah, it's Valorant. I want to try this. I didn't realize this was only on PC though. I don't really think it's gonna be super great on my current laptop.
The 4th animatronic is of course Freddy Fazbear himself, star of the show at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. As he moves about, we can hear Freddy making spine-chilling laughing sounds. These are actually the sounds of a girl giggling, but slowed right down.
I don't know why that was funny.
Freddy becomes active from night 3 onwards, and it is imperative we keep our camera on him.
Damn, why's he got so much stuff on?
This is because Freddy can only move when we aren't looking at him.
The homeboy's got
regularly
both doors
checking the camera
closed?
feed is a good way to hold him back. If Freddy reaches the hallway outside of our office, he will never leave, meaning we must now keep the doors
Calder.
closed from this point on, and most times this results in the power failing and a game over occurring. Freddy greeting us with the following scare. There are several fun facts about Freddy Fazbear, so let's list off a few quickly. The music we hear while Freddy patrols is a rendition of George Bizet's Toreador song from the opera Carmen. Freddy's appearance seems to take influence from both the 1977 classic version of Chuck E. Cheese and Showbiz Pizza Place mascot Billy Bob, both wearing a hat and bow tie with similar coloration and of course lead members of the band. Freddy was of course the main singer while on stage.
My name is Freddy, I'm the singer in the band. Got a hat and a big bow tie. I'm a big brown bear, but don't be scared. I'm a real fun-loving guy.
I would love to see these songs put to like a hip hop beat from like the 80s.
With similar coloration and of course lead members of the band. Freddy was of course the main singer.
That's how
while
the
on
songs
stage.
were.
My name is Freddy, I'm the singer in the band. Got a hat and a big bow tie.
My name is Freddy, I'm the singer of the band. I got a hat and a bow tie. Like it just sounds like those type of like the Sugarfoot Gang type. I'm a big brown bear, but don't be scared. I'm just a hell of a guy. Like it just sounds like that.
Scott Cawthon originally
I'd
planned
love
for
to see
Freddy be
that.
far more elusive and mysterious, only moving from the stage when the power went out completely. However, as development continued, Scott re-evaluated the situation.
I think
and
Foxy is
decided
my
he
personal
wanted to make
favorite since
Freddy
he's the only
a far more
animatronic
prominent part of
that
the
was the only
adventure.
one who was mysterious,
Freddy
not
will at
appearing in the
times
trailer at
flash
all.
up
Also
on
FNAF
screen as
1
the night guard
and FNAF
experiences
4 Foxy both
hallucinations.
slowly creep up on you when you
During
are
those
looking.
hallucinations, if we
Yeah, I think
pause the
Foxy is like a
action,
pretty
we
big
see Freddy
favorite. I think a
has
lot of people like
eerily
Foxy. I like
realistic
Foxy.
and bloodshot eyes.
Now put some like
You may
metal
notice
drums on
Freddy
there.
has faint handprints on his head and chin. These are likely from the children of the pizzeria, but could also be the bloody handprint of a child William Afton stuffed inside Freddy's suit. A chilling thought. There is one last animatronic to cover, one you might not ever see, even if you've completed FNAF multiple times. A yellow version of Freddy known as Golden Freddy.
I don't know what's my luck with the Easter eggs, but I always see them in pretty much every FNAF game we play. I'll see the Easter eggs, and no one really warns me. Sometimes Calder will be like if we're playing, like, maybe if it's a FNAF game, more likely a FNAF fan game, they'll be like, do you want the Easter eggs for this, or do you want me to tell you about this or that? But like if someone doesn't do that, like, all right, so he'll tell me, like, I think the last one was like Joy of Creation, like the newspaper clippings, right? But like no one warns me about like random jump scares that could happen. So like I think the most recent one we did was Those Nights at Rachel's. There's a random jump scare you can get from Shadow Rachel. If you just turn around, there's like a small chance she'll just be there. That stuff is terrifying, and no one ever tells me. And I feel like that stuff sometimes is worse than the regular jump scares, because it's like you get so used to everything in the game already, and you think you've come across everything, and it's like, nope, we got something for you. Just don't worry, it'll pop up. When's it gonna pop up? We don't know. Maybe it won't. Maybe it will. But it's gonna be different. I get hit with all of these.
Golden Freddy contains the ghost of a young girl named Cassidy, yet another of William Afton's victims. In order to access Golden Freddy in the game, we must be extremely fortunate, or unfortunate depending on your perspective. There is a 1 in 100,000 chance of spotting a Golden Freddy poster on the wall of Hall
Really?
B. If we sight this poster, Cassidy can be heard laughing.
We've definitely seen this poster multiple
Back
times.
to the office at this point, and Golden
I didn't realize
Freddy
that the chance was that low.
before us. A spooky vision that insta-kills the player unless we quickly bring the tablet back up and look away. Fun fact, during one of Phone Guy's conversations with the night guard, he references a gruesome incident at the pizzeria known as the Bite of 87.
They used to be allowed to walk around during the day too, but then there was the Bite of 87. Yeah, it's amazing that the human body can live without the frontal lobe, you know?
So it's interesting to note that if we input the AI levels to 1987 on night 7, then Golden Freddy will jump scare us and crash our game.
Oh, I'm just so incredibly epic. No one can compare. Oh, really? Or are you just playing baby games? My
This next section is dedicated to the secrets and Easter eggs found throughout Five Nights at Freddy's. The first of these can be activated straight off the bat from the security office. See the celebrate poster over here? Well, clicking Freddy's nose rewards us with a satisfying honking noise. When switching to camera 5, the employees only room, there is a 1 in 20 chance of the animatronic heads and endoskeleton all staring ominously into camera. Likewise, when checking in on camera 1A, the animatronic stage, at the beginning of each night, a rare instance sometimes triggers where
Alexa,
all 3 robot critters
stop.
become aware we are watching
Let me make sure I
them
clean the litter
and
box once
gaze
we hop
right
off.
back at us. Every now and again, when switching to certain cameras in the hallways of the pizzeria, phantom posters will sometimes appear. These display newspaper clippings, which speak of a hidden backstory we touched on earlier.
Yo, you guys know the voice actress for fucking Mercy on the voice actress for Mercy in Overwatch? Bro, she got murdered. This is crazy. I'm gonna look into this after the stream, but that's crazy.
Missing kids. There are 4 of these newspapers, and they read as follows. Kids
Yeah, no, the actual voice. Apparently, she voiced someone in Halo too. I didn't know that, but
lured into a back room during
yeah,
the
she
late
got
hours
murdered
of
in Brazil. It
operation
looks
at
like.
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza on the night of June 26th. While video surveillance identified the man responsible and led to his capture the following morning,
There's a someone they arrested,
and are
so they have
presumed
someone in
dead.
custody.
Police think
But
the suspect dressed as a company mascot to
that's
earn the
nuts,
children's
man.
trust. 5 children now reported missing. Suspect convicted.
I have a feeling that
5
Golden
children
Freddy
are now
is still
linked to the
Fredbear, just
incident at Freddy Fazbear's
modified to be
Pizza,
kid
where a
friendly.
man
As of
dressed
late, we
as a
don't see anything
cartoon
about the
mascot
Fredbear
lured
suit.
him
We don't know if
into
it
a
was
back
scrapped
room.
or in tip-top
While the
condition
suspect has
unlike
been
Bonnie,
charged,
Spring
the
Bonnie.
bodies
Golden
themselves
Freddy
were
wasn't
never
given a
found.
proper backstory or
Freddy
why he was
Fazbear's
created.
Pizza has been
That he was
fighting an uphill
possessed by the
battle
spirit of
ever
Cassie,
since
the
to
one
convince
who
families
tortures
to
William
return to
Afton
the
in Ultimate
pizzeria.
Custom Night. So
It's
you're saying
a
there's a
tragedy.
chance that it's the same suit? Is that what you're saying?
Pizzeria threatened with shutdown over sanitation.
It's just like a repurposed suit?
Local pizzeria
Like they
Freddy Fazbear's
painted it
Pizza
brown or
has been
something?
threatened again with shutdown by the health department over reports
Brazil
of
has more
foul
murders
odor
than like
coming
anywhere
from
else.
much-loved
Just don't go
animal
there. I
mascots.
choose to believe that
Police were
Golden Freddy
contacted when
isn't
parents
even physically
reportedly
real.
noticed
I don't know
what
why I read
appeared
that
to
like
be
that was
blood
one
and mucus
statement.
around the eyes and mouths of the mascots. One parent likened them to reanimated carcasses. Local pizzeria said
Like
to close by
100%
year's
spirit.
end. After a long struggle to stay in business after
But
the tragedy that
I'll
took
say
place
this.
there many years ago, Freddy
That Golden Freddy can kill you in a couple games. But I guess you could still argue that, like, I don't know, maybe a ghost might have the ability to kill you or a spirit. But it did exist though. The Golden Freddy did physically exist because in the old restaurant with Spring Bonnie, they were on stage together. So he did physically exist at least at one point.
Fazbear's Pizza has announced that it will close by year's end. Despite a long search for a buyer, companies seem unwilling to be associated with the company. These characters will live on in the hearts of the kids. These characters will live on, stated the CEO. What makes these reports creepier is another rare secret, again a poster that can appear on the wall of camera 4A. It shows a group of crudely sketched children, all screaming and wide-eyed. These are almost certainly Afton's victims calling out from beyond the grave. One final Easter egg you might catch on the very same wall is the mysterious line, "It's me." Again, this seems to be from the ghosts of the fallen children, in particular the child trapped within Freddy Fazbear. Finally, on rare occasions after receiving a game over screen, or booting into the game for the first time, we see an ominous face appear.
But if
The
you
face
look at the
belongs
way
to
he
Bonnie
does it
and
when he
sits on
kills
our
you,
screen for
he does
approximately
exactly like a
10
ghost would.
seconds before the eyes eventually light up. We then find ourselves back at the main menu. This super creepy Easter egg is randomly generated and has only a 0.1% chance of appearing.
I don't think I've ever seen this.
And has main menu.
He's talking about this.
Light and sit. Time we see an ominous face appear.
Wait, is this a game-breaking bug? We may have seen this. I don't know. I'm kind of interested in going back and checking. I don't remember seeing Bonnie's face, but I remember seeing a game-breaking bug. So maybe, I don't know.
This super creepy Easter egg is randomly generated and has only a 0.1% chance of appearing. As we close the curtain on today's video, let's take a moment to look at how Five Nights at Freddy's has evolved after launching. To date, the game has become available on a variety of platforms outside of PC and mobile. It was remastered by ClickTeam and launched on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, where a new generation of players can now experience the animatronic terrors for themselves. The franchise was also purchased for movie rights by Warner Bros. Studios back in 2015, and since then Blumhouse Productions have signed up to adapt it, with a script currently in place and tentative movie release of 2022 scheduled.
You know we're gonna watch that.
There has also been a sea of
we're gonna
toys,
watch it.
books, clothing, and other merchandise too, which is a testament to just how popular FNAF has become. But more importantly, there have been no less than 7 more mainline games to date, and these will be the topics of future videos as this new series continues. But with that, we have reached the end of today's video, and this in-depth retrospective
I wanna get me a
of the
FNAF
original
shirt.
Five Nights at Freddy's game.
Give me a
hope you
pair
found
of
this video
FNAF
both
joggers.
entertaining and informative. Remember to circle back in a few weeks for episode 2, where we'll dive into a fan favourite as we look at FNAF 2.
If it ever ends up actually happening, yeah.
Hit that like button, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more horror related content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.
The next video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is getting to be that time. and I gotta make sure that I give myself enough time so I can actually like work out and stuff. So. Sucks that we got started so late, but like I said, when I said in Discord I'm running mad late, that's actually the time that I woke up. It's crazy how much sleep, like how sleep deprived I was, and I just couldn't get myself to like just stay asleep. Like I think I woke up for like maybe a couple hours super early this morning and then fell back asleep. So today is what, Tuesday? So we're back on Thursday. We're gonna play one of two games. Either we're gonna play the FNAF fan game Final Nights, or because like I said, I prefer to do FNAF on like Sundays and Tuesdays, or we might do Minecraft because I kind of want to bring Minecraft back. So we'll see. Appreciate everybody that came through, all the new follows. Thank you, everyone that hung out with me, watched some videos. Appreciate that, guys. It's always good having people to chit chat with, especially when everyone is somewhat like-minded and we all like some good old FNAF lore. I'll be in Discord till a ungodly hour if somebody wants to chit chat. If you guys have any videos or FNAF fan games you want me to see, toss it in either Discord or Reddit. Other than that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.